The conference. We have the panel, we have the discussions, we have the presentation, and in the midst of it, there will be a coffee break, then a second part. Here on my left is the restaurant where we're going to have lunch, and when we get back from lunch, okay, let's get there. We'll discuss that later. Also on the back, probably you've seen there is an area called down there. There are several stands with companies that you can meet, and they will present their products and services. So whoever is interested, please, in the break, you can go there and see what they are proposing. So just to let you know that all presentations will be sent to you after the event. Also, you see the great cameras on my right here. So it will be recorded. That means that after the event, you get link from Xpring with the videos that will be on the YouTube channel. So you will be able to have that when you get back to your office. And if you have not taken some notes and you forgot something, it will be there for you either in the form of presentation or on the YouTube channel, and you can go back and see what was said and so on. And I'm done for now. I want to give the floor to the CEO of the WOPC, and you'll
hello, ladies and gentlemen. Very nice. I'm very happy to see you here, all the professionals from the technology and the insurance sector. Today we'll be sharing some vision, some insights from our experience for how we are looking at the technology and insurance world today and tomorrow. And I really hope that you enjoy this first event of this kind in Bulgaria. So have a nice day with the presentations here. Have good talks with each other and enjoy the conference. Thank you very much for coming. A special thanks to all of you and our sponsors and the technical team who will make this possible to happen. So enjoy it.
Thank you, Neil. So you came here, but not everybody was able to make it. That's why we have a short speech pre-recorded in the beginning. And it's a keynote speech by Tia Utuk-Jensen, the Director General of Insurance Europe. So Insurance Europe, it's the advocacy group that works for the industry in Brussels. So I think it's a nice short start of the whole thing. Let's see.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to address you today at this landmark gathering of insurance leaders, innovators and policymakers. I understand that this is the first international conference of its kind held in Bulgaria, and I'd like to take a moment to warmly acknowledge our hosts and the Bulgarian insurance community. Your commitment to progress and collaboration is helping shape the future of our industry, not just locally, but across Europe. I am really honored that I've been asked to open this conference, not just to talk about claims, but to reimagine them. Claims have for too long been viewed as a cost center. That perception is changing. Today, claims are emerging as a strategic asset, central to trust, resilience, and innovation in our industry. The world around us is changing, and it's changing fast. Digitalization is rewriting the rules of our risk. Our clients are evolving faster than ever. Their behaviors, expectations, and vulnerabilities are shifting, and so must we. Technologies like artificial intelligence, big data, and automation are no longer optional. They are foundational. They empower us to anticipate risk, personalize protection, and deliver claims with speed, precision, and empathy. With opportunity comes complexity. Cyber threats are intensifying. Economic and geopolitical volatility are testing our models. Climate change is no longer a future scenario, it is a daily reality. Natural disasters are more frequent, more severe, and more disruptive, with profound consequences for infrastructure, health, and livelihoods. These risks are complex, interconnected, and importantly, intensifying. They're reshaping the needs of our clients, and they demand a new kind of response, one that is proactive, adaptive, and preventative. Digitalization gives us that opportunity. How we integrate technology into our business will define our ability to protect and serve our clients, people and businesses across Europe. We must harness its full potential to unlock organization-wide capabilities that are truly transformational. Insurance is built on trust, and claims are where that trust is tested. They are our moment of truth, the most powerful expression of our promise. They drive satisfaction, loyalty, and confidence. From my point of view, there are 3 strategic shifts transforming claims into core assets. First, digital intelligence and AI-driven claims. Claims are increasingly powered by AI, automation, and real-time data. From satellite imagery for flood assessments to telematics in motor insurance. We are moving towards predictive and proactive claims management. This is not just about speed, it's about accuracy, transparency, and empowering consumers. Second, climate resilience and data-driven adaptation. Climate data is a goldmine for resilience. It reveals vulnerabilities, tracks evolving risks, and identifies where prevention can save lives. By partnering with governments, communities, and technology innovators, we can turn claims into a force for climate adaptation and disaster preparedness. Third, consumer centricity and trust. Today's policyholders expect seamless digital experiences, but also human connection. Claims must be frictionless and empathic, with clear communication, ethical handling, and transparency. Particularly the younger generations value simplicity, safety, and accountability. By aligning our services with these values, we build lasting trust. Transformation doesn't happen in a vacuum. This is a fact. Regulation plays a vital role in maintaining the highest standards for data protection, privacy, and ethical use of AI. Europe has built a strong foundation, ensuring financial stability, protecting consumers, and setting global standards in data protection and AI. The Insurance Distribution Directive ensures fair treatment of consumers by distributors throughout the product lifecycle, including at the moment of claim. The GDPR governs every piece of data we use. As we digitize and automate, we must ensure claims data is processed lawfully, transparently, and securely, with clear legal basis, data minimization, and explainable decision-making. The European AI Act, the European Union's landmark regulation on artificial intelligence, classifies AI systems according to the level of risk they pose. Based on this classification, systems must meet specific requirements. That ranges from basic transparency obligations to more stringent rules around human oversight, fairness, and accountability. Rules do matter, but it is key that they do not hinder innovation or drive unnecessary complexity, because regulatory friction has real-world consequences. Let me name 2. Operational burdens divert resources from customer service and innovation. Secondly, complex compliance discourages investment. Getting the rules right is essential to ensure that claims remain strategic assets. To truly unlock the power of claims, we must start with the people we serve. Empowering customers means more than delivering fast payouts. It means helping them understand their coverage, their rights, and their risks. It means giving them tools to make informed decisions before disaster strikes. Financial literacy is not a luxury, it is a necessity. When people understand how insurance works, they're better equipped to choose the right coverage, engage with insurers, and take proactive steps to manage their risks. Digital tools can help, through intuitive platforms, personalized guidance, and clear communication. That we invest in outreach, education, and partnerships that build financial capability across all segments of society is also important. Empowered consumers are not just better protected, they're more confident, more loyal, and more engaged. They become partners in risk management, not merely passive recipients of coverage. So what does it mean to treat claims as a strategic asset? It means recognizing that claims data is intelligence, fuel for better underwriting, product design, and risk prevention. It means investing in claims capabilities, not just to reduce costs, but to build loyalty, improve outcomes, and reinforce our societal roles. Claims are where our promises are tested and where our purpose is proven. It means aligning claims with our broader strategic priorities, whether that's digital sovereignty, sustainability, or long-term investment in Europe's future. And it means advocating for regulation that fosters innovation that is clear, proportionate, and future-proofed. So let me close with a challenge. As an industry, we must move beyond the question, how do we process claims faster? And instead ask ourselves, how do we use claims to create value for customers, for society, and for a shared future? I believe that this shift demands leadership, collaboration, and bold thinking. It requires us to embrace innovation, invest in financial literacy, and put customers at the heart of everything we do. I also believe that everyone in this room is a key part of that transformation. I know that Bulgaria has shown remarkable progress in embracing digital transformation and strengthening consumer protection. Together, we can shape a future where insurance is more than a safety net, where it is a strategic partner in building resilience, trust, and opportunity. Thank you for your attention. I wish you all a great day of conversations and inspiration.
Okay, of course, video is always a second choice, and you came here for a live event, for a live interaction. So without further ado, I pass the floor to the moderators of the conference. Daniela Ghetu, Editorial Director, Exprime Insurance Publications, and Professor Karen von Hule from the Catholic University Leuven, Belgium, and Goethe University, Frankfurt, Germany. The floor is yours.
Before Karel reaches his microphone, I just want to take a minute to thank you for being here, to say how happy we are to work together with you. We are based in Romania, so we are here, your neighbors, and are dealing with the same issues and facing the same challenges and the same opportunities in the insurance market. And a big thank you to Revoxy, because truth being told, this conference was primarily their idea. So we work very well together, and I hope you will have a very good day today, informative and also pleasant, surrounded by friends in the industry. Karel, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Danielle, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me join in congratulating Emil and Exprime for having this first conference in Bulgaria. It is so important in Europe that in each part of Europe we have this opportunity to exchange ideas with experts in the field. And I hope that you will go home tonight and say, I've learned something. If it's just one idea, I think the conference will already have been successful. We listened to Thea, who put our discussions in a broader perspective, and let me start this conference by also putting claims management in the broader regulatory perspective. Insurance is based upon a contract under which one party, the insurer, promises another party, the insured, cover against a specified risk in exchange for a premium. It is a promise. If the insured risk materializes, the policyholder can file a claim. In the same way that a university cannot function without students, although sometimes we would wish so. An insurance company cannot function without claims. If there are no claims, the insurance product is irrelevant, or there is something wrong with the product, with the contract. For instance, too many exclusions. In Brussels speak today, we would say that the insurance contract does not offer value for money. Insurance claims management is a critical function in an insurance company in accordance with Solvency II. It involves the processing, evaluation, and settlement of claims made by policyholders. Effective claims management not only impacts customer satisfaction, but it also affects the financial situation and the reputation of the insurer. The annual Consumer Trends reports published by EIOPA, and I would advise you to consult them, they are available on the website of EIOPA. These reports show that there are still issues with payment delays and with poor customer service in claims management, with delays and inadequate payouts noted especially in MTPL and in travel insurance. Claims management remains the highest source of insurance-related complaints. AI application offers the potential to streamline claims management and to enhance customer experience. Surveys conducted by EIOPA show that 52% of EU customers feel that online automated processes make claims easier and faster. There are, however, issues with less digitally literate consumers. And insurers must also ensure that their staff are trained to handle sensitive interactions with empathy and professionalism. And there it comes, balancing technology with human touch. Insurance, ladies and gentlemen, is about trust. Through empathic and diligent management of claims, insurers can show that deserve the trust of their consumers. AI can help to achieve this. And that's why we will start this conference with our first panel. And I would like to ask my panel members to join me on stage. Gaetan Roulet, Vice President Europe from Solved Group in Italy. Please, sir, you can choose the chair. Ivo Gruev, Executive Director and Management Board Member of Bullstrat, VIG. Please join us on stage. Radoslav Dimitrov, CIO, Member of the Board of Generali, Bulgaria. And last but not least, Uri Maimon, co-founder of Auto 3P from Switzerland and Israel. So, gentlemen, let's start off with our first question. What are the main challenges today in claims management? And let me start with Gaetan. What would you think? The button, yes.
I press the button. Cool. So, I'm the French guy. I'm supposed to speak about cooking, and I have a challenging question. I will not speak about cooking today, but I think that we can speak about music. We can speak about the triangle, you know, playing the triangle, and going back to the key of the claim triangle. Cost, customer service, speed. Clearly, when you play the music, it's a big orchestration, and we have the rules of the orchestration from the DPO, from the AI Act, the regulation. Important to respect the rules. Then the challenges is probably to manage to have all the instruments working together. AI tools, we speak a lot about AI, but if we don't manage to put it correctly and to have the right orchestration, to have the good combination with human, acceptance by the customer, I would say that the music will not be okay. So I would say the challenge is to manage to have everything going together between the DPO, the regulation, and putting the right tools, AI agent, maximum, but correctly.
Okay, that's clear. So what you're saying, basically, you want a symphony and not a cacophony.
I like this one. Yes.
Okay. So, Ivo, what would be your comments?
I got the feeling that sometimes that I'm living in some kind of schizophrenic world. On the one hand side, we have to tackle and to push forward the digital transformation, and all the new generations and the people living in the big cities, they're already used to live updates. They're used to have them to use the mobile apps to have everything online. On the other hand, we have the small towns, we have the villages, there are the traditional people who are much more analog. We have to live on the edge of tomorrow, if you allow me to say it like this, because actually we have to maintain two types of claim settlement, two types of claim service, the analog and the digital. And in my opinion, more or less, this is an issue and this is a problem, how to make this transition smoother and to run in the proper way.
Okay, I think that's probably very true. Radoslav, how do you look at that?
Okay, probably challenges are a lot, but I think I will point out something which is, I suggest, very similar to many of the companies, and this is actually the legacy systems which you have from one side and the expectation of the customers from the other side, which means that you are living in a previous ages, and then you have the customers which are coming from the digital world, which they expect things to happen super fast, quickly, and with several clicks. And then this gap is actually creating problems, because for many of the companies to jump so quickly and to catch the new technology is actually a challenge. And by the way, this is the place where the InsurTech actually take place, especially for the small and the medium-sized companies. And within this challenge, with this, I would say, confrontation, probably you have on the top of that the regulatory complexity, which on its own, it's not a bad thing, it's actually a good thing. But the problem here is not the regulation itself, it's about the complexity of the service, which means that you have a complex service, you have a regulated service, you have a legacy system, and then on the other hand, you have the expectation of the people, things to happen with several clicks and super nice and easy, like it happens, for example, in the e-commerce or in social networks, etc., etc.
Okay, thank you very much. So it's a real world issue, claims management. So Uri, from your perspective.
We are the driver and we are the steering for you, for all the insurance company, that client of us, that we need to computerize the claim, to computerize the estimation. And the challenge is in our hand, that we need to navigate you to the new way, to the new world, what we can bring to the market for tomorrow. And we need to work on it very hard, yesterday, today, that for tomorrow we can bring you the right solution to the customer. And along the days we will preview what we are doing in Auto3P in this case, and how we can bring the future that it could be today and tomorrow, that the idea is to move to automatic estimation.
Okay, thank you very much. It's very important from the first question here. We have the challenges, they're difficult, but we are living in a moving world. And I think that's very important to keep that in mind. Let's move now to the second question. We talked about challenges, but what are some good practices from your experience in claims management that you want to share with the audience? And again, I will start with Gaëtan.
Okay, so best practices. I will go to your point, Ivo. The customer is the king. He chooses how he wants to open a claim. He will choose, do I accept that the car is opening my claim, telematic system? Do I want to make a call? Do I want to do it online? The customer will choose. Clearly, I would say, I remember when I was a child, teacher telling me, Gaëtan, the most important is the introduction. I think it is the same in claim. The most important is the funnel. To be successful in funnel and to connect the right tools, the right data, the right AI, to use properly the data that is given. I mean, not asking questions to a customer when we already have a way to have an answer. I mean, asking to the customer, what is your plate number? When it's obvious on the picture, when there is AI to detect this plate number, when there is AI to detect that there is no manipulation on this plate number. I mean, why asking this question? So I think that the best practice, the first best practice is to be successful with the introduction with the funnel. Of course, companies like us, like Auto3P, like other companies, we are here to help the insurance companies to have this successful introduction.
Excellent. Ivo.
I want to be a little bit more practical. I had a meeting the day before last week, and the client, it's a car dealership, and told me, I need a person from your company, a claims handler, to stay here with me in the office and putting the claims, making the first notice of claim, etc. I said, are you crazy? We have the app, we have the web portal, we have the contact center, and this is how to say, it's already the best practice in the market. Why don't you do that? I didn't know about this. Okay, thank you very much. But so good practice is to teach, actually to teach the market, to teach the industry, to teach our partners that this digital transformation is possible and that it works and there are already solutions, and this I would say on.
Very good. Okay, let's move on. Radoslav.
Okay, it was more practical. I will be more theoretical, let's say. Yes, there are many use cases, good ones, which could be pointed out, but in my opinion, the ultimate goal which we should focus on is, if you want to be successful, you have to keep 3 principles, or at least 4. First one, if you do it, you have to be fast. Ideally, it should happen immediately, because this is the expectation of the customers. They want the service to be super fast. Then it should be transparent, what is going on, how this is happening, information at all the time. Then, of course, the final payment should be fair, which means you should be quite precise in everything you do. And this one happening mainly through technologies, AI, etc., etc. This one should be done in a way that the customer, it was mentioned by the way in the beginning, should be done in a way that the customer should continue to feel the human touch or the human element, which means that at any point, although he sees these things, these technologies working, he should be feeling comfortable in a way that every time he can rely on a real human behind.
Thank you very much. And then, last but not least, Uri.
Every of us ever dream how it could be the manage of the claim, how it could be the manage of the estimation. And the dream of all of us is to cut this services time and to do everything immediately. And I believe that all of us that want to look about it, that it's not a dream, that it exists, that we can do this today. It's only the question if we take our hands, and we will do this because the technology is here. And he gives us the potential to do this. It's only to take it and to do this. And we have to do today the tools to do this. And it's only a question how we make the speed to implement it to the market, to implement it to the insurance company inside, and to make this revolution.
Thank you. So for the second question, I think we can sum up by saying what we need is a consumer-centric approach in all respects. And let's then move on to the technology. AI, we talk about it. Sometimes we dream about it. But we don't know much about it. And so my question to you is going to be, what are the likely changes that AI will bring in claims management? And again, Gaëtan, if you could give us a kickoff.
Okay, so today I heard in the radio that it is the World Day of the Common Sense. And honestly, a common sense, I'm going back to the story of your dealer, I mean, for the customer, he will choose. He wants to make a call, he wants to speak with a voice bot, a chatbot, he will choose. What will change a lot with the support of AI is what is happening within our services. I mean, could be this chatbot, could be the claim handler, could be a voice bot. All those will be highly supported by a kind of big orchestration of AI agent helping this claim handler to be augmented. Augmented meaning, I mean, the guy will be somehow have the right knowledge, the right advice on the legal side. The picture that he will get will straight away manage to tell, okay, already a claim happened on this picture, on this case. The picture will tell him all those damage has been detected. This is this repair cost estimation. Maybe on this case you need to have the support of an expert because it's a complex claim. And it comes to the human. The combination of AI with human. Okay, of course, company like us solved, of course we are here for solving problems. I think that's very good marketing there. Clearly, we provide some AI tools on the whole end-to-end journey of the customer. But one of the keys, of course, for all of us to increase the accuracy, but to know when complement with human is important. Respecting the regulation and respecting the human. Because at the end, could be your claim handler or could be your customer. If there is no trust between the AI results and this human, there are no AI that matters. And going back to what our colleague from the European Association was saying, very important, we are living in Europe in some democracy, very important that we are driven by the regulation and by the respect of the customer and the citizen, with a good combination of human and AI. That would be...
Okay, thank you. Ivo?
I will go a step further to what you said, that AI is going to be some kind of augmentation of the people's skills and knowledge. We, in our company, very much rely that sooner or later AI will replace people, especially in these minor cases, in these small claims, which consume so much resources, so much efforts and capital, human capital. So AI, for the time being, unfortunately, in our experience, we've been trying for quite a long time different solutions, AI solutions. It's still a stupid pupil, and we cannot train it good enough yet. But we continue with our experiments. Okay, thank you. Let's see, but AI is not only, it's only algorithm. Of course, behind it there are people on which we rely, and AI is not going to replace people, but to help them, yeah.
To help them.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Radoslav.
Okay, AI is here, obviously. So as far as I read, within this year, something like 84%, 85% of the companies are either using it or will start using it in different type of the claims process. So obviously the company started to use it. Different question is they're using the proper way or they're implementing it the proper way anyway. So what it will change? For sure, from customer point of view, it will change at least the speed. This is sure. So it will make the claim settlement much faster. From insurer's point of view, it will make the claim cheaper, which means at the end a more competitive service. So better you use it, better you implement it, better service you provide, more competitive you are. And last but not least, I think, or at least I hope, that it will significantly change the fraud identification and the fraud prevention by using AI in real time in checking and using different sources, data sources, so it will make the fraud prevention really much better, or at least I hope to.
Okay, thank you very much. Uri?
As I said before, we are the steering. And when we need to think about what it will be the future, of course, all of us, we have the AI in our hands, and we said everything will come to be changed with the AI. Could you think about it that you can pay a claim without to see the pictures of the car? Could you think about it that you can make estimation without to see the car? That it's completely come to be automatic? Yes, we can do this. This is the idea if we look about what it will be the future and how it could be managed, how we can use the history of file that you have millions of claims that storage today that we didn't do nothing with them except some dust on the shelves. So if we look about the future, if we look about the AI, what it could be difference, yes, it will be automatic estimation that we didn't need to look about the car. Everything comes from physical forces. Everything comes from the idea that the car, the connected car, can transmit us the information and we can create automatic payments.
So, to sum up the answer to the third question, likely impact a better customer experience. So, gentlemen on the panel, you've been very well behaving. We are within our time. So I'm going to ask you a last question, which at the opening of this conference is important for the audience. Just in a few words, claims management. What advice would you give to the audience on improving claims management?
So I think that all the changes, all the technology that can support us, all of us, we are involved in testing it, in implementing proof of concept test. The most important last sentence that I would give is to manage, and I go back to your point, Ivo, change management is essential. I mean, in the insurance world, of course, we are driven in the DNA with conservatism, because we manage risk, clear. There, if we manage to have proper change management within our organization to implement, I mean, you see, Solved, we are in 40 countries, and maybe some of you don't know the name. We are Control Expert, GT Motive, Innovation Group. So artificial intelligence, data-driven, and also management of body shop or spare parts platform. And I mean, I've seen so many POC that were successful, and then in the real life not working. Because if you have not well identified what are the limits of the technology, what are the limits of the AI, you don't have the good combination within your organization. So yes, I would go to this change management advice.
Okay, first advice, change management. Very difficult, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Ivo.
What to say? I'm not sure if I'm in the position to give advices, but maybe to share.
Don't change management.
My opinion is that to a high extent, the insurance industry is a conservative one. This is not banking, this is not a grocery, and we should keep balance between old-fashioned way and between the new technologies, not going too deep into AI, not going too far away into self-service or whatsoever, just to be on the how to say, on the rational and realistic side. This is
Okay. Second advice, keep everyone on board. Third, so Radoslav.
My advice, I would say, actually, although claims management is conservative thing, yes, I agree, but be brave to experiment, because technology is already here and there, and if you don't experiment and you don't jump into it, then being late and catching up would be a very, very, very tough issue. And of course, don't forget to be compliant.
Yes, so third advice, be creative. Fourth advice.
I believe that each of us need to take ourselves from the box and to think different, and not to think about what we have today and how we can change what we have today, to think about how we can make the revolution in the area of the claim. Everything in our hand, it's only to make the first step that we can create together the real revolution to this market. Everything in our hands. Please do this.
So, fourth advice, you are in charge. You can do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, join me in thanking the members of the panel for their excellent contributions, and I hope you got some ideas to take home. Thank you.
Well, if you allow me, Karel, we still have a couple of minutes left, so we are a little bit ahead of the schedule. So if there are questions from the hall for our panelists.
Anybody disagrees with the advice?
If not, I would take for a minute the position of the representative of customers, let's say. We have here two panelists who represent insurers with a very large presence in the area. And I would like to ask, how do you feel people are viewing these technological advancements? Because I recall that when the first telematics tools got in place, people were a little bit reluctant. They saw it like some sort of big brother with a vigilant eye on what they are doing with their car. Now, do you feel they trust the results of the interaction with you managed through all these tools who are somehow, let's say, artificial? That's the AI.
You know, my mother don't trust. She will not accept. My daughter having a high frequency every 2 years, I would say. Yes, she trusts. So I think it's a question of generation.
Yeah.
Question of generation.
sure.
Yeah, for sure. The young generations are very open-minded towards everything that is technology, fast and handy.
Uri, what is your experience?
Yes, I believe that we don't need to answer about it. The young people can take any technology. They took everything what we bring to the market today, the young people, and we need to look about them and to provide them what they need. And what it was and what will be needed, we need to provide it because they hug the technology and they hug the new services that we talk about it.
Yes, I think that's a good final conclusion. We should be ready for change, and if we can do that from our side, the ultimate goal has to be an improvement of the customer experience. Okay, thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
So it is time now to go to our first presentation for the day. I'm happy to introduce Kees Worth, President and Group CEO for the Claims Corporation Network. I think this is an entity that doesn't need very much presentation in our region. They are present almost everywhere with very interesting solutions. And now I'm handing him the remote. So we are quite anxious to hear from you, Kees.
Yeah, thank you, Daniela, and for Expreme for having me. My first time for a presentation in Sofia. So, and such a large audience who showed up on this claims conference. It proves that there is a genuine interest in this subject and to learn from each other. Of course, as a speaker, you have to prepare yourself, you have to make slides, a presentation, and you think about topics which, let's say, is of interest. And actually, my inspiration comes already from this morning, from the speakers who bring so many topics on the table that said, well, actually, I don't need slides. They give me enough food for thought. And I wrote a few things down. Claims as a strategic asset, that was in the morning presented. Empathy and emotion combined, E2E, you can call it like that. Of course, AI was mentioned several times, but also payment delays. And one of the speakers said, well, AI will improve and speed up the claims handling. But does it also automatically mean that it improves the payment of the claim? That you can settle the claim, that you can look at all the documents, but the payment is something else, which is in another department, not in the claims department sometimes. It's in the finance department. So premium is paid within 30 days of the invoice. Claims is paid sometimes 90, 120 days after the event. So there is, I think, still some challenge to overcome. The triangle was mentioned, cost, client expectations and speed. So all kind of interesting food for thought to take you to it. There's no claims conference anymore without AI. Let me see. Hold on. There's no event about AI. I'm not going to talk a lot about AI because there are a lot of other speakers who have this. But I think this was quite an interesting research that was presented yesterday from KPMG about the amount of investment that is going to take place in the AI, according to that research. And more than 74% of the CEOs believe that they're going to invest in that. On the other hand, there was another research from Cognizant last week, which has proven that 75% of all the investments did not have a return on the investment. So, on the one hand, you have the CEO said, yeah, we have to deploy. They're the investment tool, but now the first results after 2 years have shown that 75% of all the investment didn't bring any return. So there's still a mismatch to what AI can bring and what AI will bring to the table. And of course, that's another question. Interesting is that what we, for example, in the Netherlands already are seeing is that the junior lawyers are not being hired at the moment anymore. So there will be a gap in the development of lawyers, of young lawyers who want to start and will develop themselves because the law firm said, okay, the young lawyers, we don't need you anymore to prepare documents because that is what AI already can do. So there will be a gap in the development because that base where they will develop themselves as a lawyer will disappear and they have to find somewhere else their experience to step up at a later level in that law firm. And of course, we are at the early stage with that. Here was an article, and in the presentations that will be shared, there's the link to the articles, so you can read them all yourself. Is this claim covered? The lawyer built AI, draft cover letters in minutes. Yeah, for that you don't need junior lawyers anymore, because that is what AI can do. So that will save, on the hand, they will say, yeah, it's speed up, it saves a lot of time, but on the other hand, people have to learn. And if that falls away, where do they get the experience from? In my presentation, I've covered some topics, FNOL, open insurance as part of open banking. Perhaps I will not touch them all, but they are in the slides, so you can read it, because I like to interact a little bit more with yourselves. This was the KPMG report, the 2025 Global Outlook. AI investments are top priority. So there's the link to the report, which was published this week, so you can read it there yourself. Who is using AI, if I can ask? Can you raise your hands? Who is using AI? Don't be shy. So I can say around half of the people are using AI, okay? Who is using AI for professional reasons? More or less the same. Who is using AI for business reasons? More or less the same. Now another question. Which of your company has an AI policy in place? Okay, thank you. What you see is that we are starting to use AI, both privately and business-wise, and we're asking AI from a business perspective, for example, what would be the answer to this question? But there is no AI policy in place. So data is moving out from an AI environment into the business environment without that there is an AI policy in place. That's also a challenge. And that's why more and more companies will go into an AI regulation, an AI policy. What can you do? How can you use it? And how do we protect data? That it doesn't go from an outside environment into a new environment. And I had an experience myself. I had to write an invitation, save the date. So I said, let's use AI. If they can make a nice invitation with some pictures in it. And I said, okay, I want to send an invitation for a dinner event on that and date for that purpose. And it created, of course, in seconds, the invitation. But then I started to look what it has made for it. 2 errors. The date that I asked him was not on a Thursday, but was on a Friday. The location was not in Copenhagen, but was in Bucharest. So in one small question I asked to make for me a save the date invitation, 2 errors appeared. And one of the areas we're already seeing where mistakes are being made is when, for example, in court procedures, and that could be in our insurance market as well, they're going to ask AI, what other legal verdicts have there been in similar cases? You get errors because the case doesn't exist. And already the first convictions in the US already happened, where lawyers brought in previous court cases from other countries, and where they found that court cases actually didn't exist. So be careful when using AI, when you want to use it as truth, because it isn't. It makes still errors. When I did my presentation, I was in the preparation. I look back in 2016. That was the moment I started my company. And this is 9 years ago in the meantime. Well, give you a little bit an idea where we were in 2016. Who knows Google Compare? Well, Google Compare was part of a Google company who started up selling insurance in the US and California, motor insurance. They tried it for 1 year and they went down. And they stopped it. It was too difficult. We saw a lot of... Who is using blockchain today? Well, one hand. So blockchain was presented, I think it was 2017, 2018, around that period. And that was going to be the game changer in our industry. Remember? We would have been able to send out contracts on different servers, identical contracts, and this would be the revolution. We have one person in the room who's using blockchain. It disappeared. Then, of course, we had RPA. Who's using RPA today? 1, 2 fingers. RPA, robotic process automation. we as a person would never do any manual work anymore. It would be done by robotics. We have 2 people here in the audience who is using it. So technology is there, but it goes in our industry on a step-by-step process. And then when COVID came, back in 2020, we sometimes forget that we had this period. Of course, everyone had to go home, and everyone went into a digitalized mode. You start working from home, there were no able to clients to come with papers to the office, everything had to be scanned. So that was a game changer. But our industry is changing step by step. Well, a little bit about CCN Group, open insurance, and the FNOL, and then of course not into a paper anymore signing, although I have to give you an example of my own experience. Because next to a claims professional, I'm also a customer of an insurance company. So I have a motor insurance policy. And when I had a small damage to my car, I reported the claim to my insurance company. So I called them. And I said, well, I have a small damage and I want to have it repaired and I have a policy. Can I fill in the claim form digital? And they said, no. We're going to send you a claims form, which you have to fill in at home, and then you send it back. I said, okay, please send it to me. I got it. I filled it in. Well, first thing, I don't have envelopes in the house anymore. I don't have stamps in the house. So I had to go to a post office to put it there, and I sent it. After a couple of weeks, I got it back. The same form which I filled in, that I had to forgot to click the box of question number 14, which they yellow marked for me, which they sent back without an envelope. So, okay, I crossed that box, went again to the post office, sent it back, and after 2 or 3 weeks, they informed me that someone's going to contact me to do a survey to my car, where I said, well, I have a camera, a very good camera, I can make pictures. I've been a loss adjuster myself in the past. Can I not do this? No, sir. This is procedure of our company, you have to comply. So at a certain moment I was called by a loss adjuster and he said, well, Mr. Werf, I've been assigned to inspect your car. I'm in your area, let me check, in 3 weeks' time. I said, well, sorry, I'm a conference in Sofia, so I'm not able to see you. He said, well, when is the next time that you are back? I said, well, end of the week. He said, no, then I'm not in your region anymore. So it will be another 3 weeks. And then I will come. So then he will come to make the pictures, send it to the insurance company with a report, and then probably after another 12 weeks, it's paid out. Well, this is 2025, an insurance company. Sorry? Absolutely. So the loyalty of a customer goes away in that quickly. And before I will return back, the trust comes step by step and goes by horse in English. Okay, very briefly, for the people who are not aware who we are, CCN Group, I'm the founder. Started the company back in 2016, one-man band, me and my guitar, I always say. Went through the countries to speak to customers, and that was the journey started. One of the things I noticed down is about the timing of everything. Daniela asked about telematics. Was something that popped up also in 2016, 2017. Which insurer is having implemented telematics in their policy here? One. You see, so the adoption of technology, which sometimes comes very quickly in time, and which you try to advocate and promote, like, okay, this is a game changer. This is something we should do. We should easily exchange data back and forth via protected, secured applications. It takes a decennia before it's being implemented. So, and that I think we will see, but that is my humble opinion, perhaps with AI as well. That in 2035 we will meet up again, and that we say, wow, this is our lessons learned from AI. This is what we do, and perhaps when we would ask at that time who has implemented AI claims assistant in his process, perhaps there's one person said, yeah, we did it, because the negative parts of it were much higher than the value. This is our offices where we are today. We have a buy and build strategy, as the M&A guys are calling it. And in addition to that, we have a network covering all of Europe and beyond in more than 40 countries. And why we believe that was or is important, for example, this morning we got a request from a customer from Romania for a CMR survey in the Netherlands, where the goods have been picked up in Germany. So that's why we are running this international network with the offices, that we easily can connect and get the information for our customers in a proper and sound way. We have some more countries coming up where we're going to expand, but that is something currently still in process. Well, if you would then cover it with that, well, there's a small Iceland, you see there in the north. We had a partner there. In those 9 years of our existence, we didn't have one claim from Iceland. So, and the partner there went on retirement, and we said, well, we don't have a request for a partnership there yet, so we leave it for the moment. So if you have someone for Iceland, please come to me after the conference. I'm happy to investigate. What do we do? Well, we have a range of products, and one of the things I learned in COVID when we just started in 2016, so we made quite a curve of growing. We opened a lot of greenfield operations in the years 2018, 2019, and then COVID came and everything was locked. And what I learned from it is that we had a twofold strategy. Was a diversification of services. And of course, not everything is hit at the same moment in the same impact, and that we had a regional spread. For example, when all the countries were in lockdown, for example, Denmark was the first country to reopen, only after 6 weeks. And there the business immediately started picking up again. Where in other countries, also in the Netherlands, we went off and down. In total, it took 2 years. Germany, even in December 2022, we were obliged to wear a mask in trains and on planes and in buildings where we had to keep distance. So it had a spread, it has its pace in the recovery, but let's say the diversification of our product portfolio and our regional presence, I think, saved us at that time in the beginning. Open insurance, similar to open banking, it's about sharing data with each other in a protective way in order to use the data from each other and in order to speed up the process. How long do I still have, Kyle? 3 minutes. Okay. Well, then I will leave a little bit this for the interested readers in the who will get this one as well. And I will go a little bit to the end. There's some examples about open insurance. Well, I take just one as an example. This is a KLM booking ticket, and they have, like many carriers at this moment, integrate travel insurance in their processes. So it's connected, the data, when you do the booking, you buy your travel insurance for the trip connected to buying that ticket. And you pay as an integrated system to the KLM application. So there you pay for your ticket, you pay for your travel insurance, and it's fully integrated. You get your ticket, you get your insurance policy at the same time. And when you have a claim, you go back to the portal. So that's, but you can see in the presentation a lot of other examples of embedded insurance in products. Then I will go a little bit towards the end, because we have 3 minutes, is the platform, the FNOL, where, as I told you, even today, when I spoke with my own insurance, I received a paper, which I have to fill in. But of course, in today's technology, the e-platform is there. And perhaps we could even say it works a little bit as an AI. And what does it mean with it works a little bit as an AI, is that the A stands for assistance, intelligence. And who is the assistant? That's the policyholder. The policyholder can use the eFNOL at any moment at his convenience, if he is at home or he is traveling. And in that way, he will report the claim at any given moment. As Ivo said, he spoke with a customer who said, why don't you put someone here next to my desk to fill in all the claims here in the office? Where he said, well, here we have the eFNOL. You just give it to your customer, not the car dealer himself, but he will send the link to his client and said, please fill everything in. You can upload documents, you can upload videos, and everything immediately is transacted. So that's and some kind of an AI as well with a human touch. And there, of course, all the stakeholders, this is an example for the travel insurance, but of course it can also be for motor or property or liability, where you put the different stakeholders, the carriers, the agent, the adjusters, investigators, legal professionals, medical specialists, you put them all connected to the same platform. Well, we did it as well. We created already, I think it was back in 2017 or 2018, we developed the iReport, which is on our portal, which is developed, and we're now giving it for free to insurance companies to test. For 3 months, you can have unlimited use of a digital iReport. And there you can register any claim, and which is completely compliant to the device the customer is using, being an iPad, a smartphone, an iPhone, or a Samsung. It only has 3 questions, and that's quite easy to handle. So first of all, it's the information of the registration of the policyholder, the event of the claim, and the services that is required. That could be, I want to make an appointment with a body shop, and there you can integrate a calendar of the body shop at the car dealer. And they said, okay, I want to pick next week to my car. Do you want to bring it yourself, or do you want to have a pickup service? That's fully integratable in the process. 3 steps, and you can register the claim in a digital way. And then, of course, you can connect it immediately with your claims management system. We're using entity data as a claims provider, claims system, and there are immediately all the data. When the customer is doing that in the evening, in the weekend, immediately it drops down in the claims management system, and the claims handler immediately can start working with it. It has all the documents in there as well. And most of the thing, and I think that is the end of my story, is I'm doing still claims handling once in a while myself as well, to keep connected to the market. And we had a question of a client who was involved in a cross-border accident, and he didn't know what the process was being like. And he sent an email and said, okay, I don't understand how this is functioning. Can you please tell me? Well, you can then ask AI to write an article and send it to him. Or your claims handler can say, well, we're waiting for that or that information. But what is more, what people like, that's the E2E approach, empathy and emotion, to call the customer. And said, well, sir, let me explain you how this works. We have to wait for policy confirmation. First, was your vehicle insured at the accident date? Yeah? Then once we have it in, we're going to check the liability of your claim. If the liability is accepted, we're going to settle and look at the damage of your claim. And that will take, in general, a few weeks before we'll settle it. But once we are there, we're going to contact you, and we'll say that when your claim is being processed and when we're going to pay out, you'll receive a credit invoice from us, and within that time frame, the money will be in your account. And he said, sir, this is the first time someone is calling me to explain to me how this works. I've never been involved in an accident in my life. How would I know? He said, but now you explain it to me. It makes things very simple. And of course, I'm not saying that we're going to call all the claimants personally, but once in a while to do this makes a difference to a customer. Thank you for your time. Any questions from the audience?
Should you have questions, please? Well, Kees, I know you are a technology fan since ever. What would you say in this case of the AI? Do you think that maybe the public expectations were a little too high in the beginning? Because at first stages, everyone said, oh, come, AI is coming, it will do everything, we will lose jobs because it will cover everything that is to be done. And now we are seeing that sometimes it is wrong, that you need to check what is doing. So it's not quite the original level of expectations. Do you think that in time maybe we will calm down a little bit?
I think so. It's indeed a hype. Everyone is talking about AI. I was at a conference in Berlin 2 years ago, and OpenAI was just published, ChatGPT. So I did a live presentation and said, what would we like to know from ChatGPT? And we asked some questions, and we immediately saw that the answers were not sufficient or were not correct with the answers that we're giving. So it's a learning process, and in the following year, so this was in 2023, I've been in many conferences in 24 and in 25, also at the beginning of this year, where there were a lot of presentations about AI, and all kinds of departments with slides were going to show how AI was going to work. But as I explained to you, Cognizant published a report, 75% of all the investment, there's no return on the investment on the AI. Because when you don't start with the right way, what do we want to achieve with AI? Perhaps it will not bring you what you expect. To give you an example, if I may allow, last 2 minutes, yeah, is we started with AI back in 2022, early days, and we worked together with a Norwegian company. And we said, okay, well, what we would like to see if the AI can help us with emails and documents, PDFs, unstructured data, that is called. And in order for us, when that comes in, that it is easily to recognize it and it will put the documents in the right claim. Well, first of all, we had a challenge because we started in Germany. And in Germany, the GDPR law is very strict and said, well, at the moment the AI is going to make a decision, it's not allowed. Full stop. It's not allowed. So it has to be a human who makes the decision, not a bot. Secondly, what we found out after testing, what the AI did, it took out the emails and it took out the documents and put it aside in a mailbox and said, okay, this is structured, this is a police report, this is a medical report, this is a lawyer's letter, and then still someone had to pick up the documents and put it in the system because it was not advanced. So it will come at a slow pace. I don't think it's the hype as it is being brought, that it can do everything. I told you it makes mistakes, even with a small invitation. It comes up with the wrong date and it comes up with the wrong place. So let's see when we are back here in 2036 what it has brought to us. So I think it will take time. And going back to 2016 when I started with CCN, looking now 9 years further, I see slowly the development of an eFNOL platform in the organizations. And that took us 10 years. We see that blockchain isn't there anymore. We have RPA, one person is still working with it. That was also technology. What came as a buzz, which has gone. We will see. I don't have the ball to see in the future, but be careful.
Thank you, Kees. Thank you very much. So we will hear now from another enthusiast of technology. I'm pleased to invite Tomasz Tarkowski, member of the management board for PZU Poland. And he will talk about a topic which is highly important for claims management, the fraud attempts, identifying and fighting against them. And I think PZU is the right place to start solutions because of your volume you can really test them on large numbers of cases. So let's see what you've done and what you expect.
Good morning, everybody. During the opening speech, Mrs. Jensen said, "Put the customer in the heart of everything you do." I totally agree. And as far as I noticed, each of today's presentations and panels are somehow related to customer experience, except mine. I'm going to talk about a completely different topic. And today I am the representative not only of the largest Polish insurance company, but also the entire market, because I'm going to tell you about the quite interesting, exciting solution which has been implemented on the market. And I'm fully convinced that in such extent, this solution doesn't exist anywhere else except Poland. I'm not going to tell you about fraud methods, about the trends, about insurers' performance, because I'm pretty convinced that you face the same problems and you observe similar trends in motor claims. This is the problem which has been existed from the very beginning of insurance. We know that, and we know that it looks somehow like the arm race. Means that when criminals come up with some new method, then we discover it, we try to prevent, we close the gap, then they find another one. And it's a never-ending story. The technology gives the opportunity for insurance companies, for customers, but as well for those criminals. And the Polish market is quite interesting from their perspective because of 2 million claims, roughly 5 billion euros volume of payments, so pretty attractive. And the project I'm talking about is focused on usage of modern technology, image recognition technology, in fraud detecting. How it started? I was present in this project involved in this project from the very beginning. First on the vendor side, so I feel like one of the fathers, let's say. And now I'm a user, so I can tell you the details how it started. It started from the discussion. We discussed with colleagues from the industry how to find the idea how this kind of parts, damaged parts, can be used. Totally smashed bumpers, exploited airbags, etc. On the Polish Amazon called Allegro, you can find thousands of such parts. The only idea how to use them is to sell them to insurance company. Maybe you can find another explanation, but we have been looking for it for years and couldn't find. So we come up with the idea that it has to be, there is technology which can help us to identify not only the same pictures, which is obvious, but the same damage or similar damage on different pictures. We conducted a very short test with several vendors and find out it works. There is such technology. And assumptions for the project named Photo, maybe not sophisticated, but tells everybody everything. The system should enable to detect similar damage in different cases. Means when we have a common database of pictures, we can find among millions of pictures, we can find similar damage. We also wanted to reduce the effort needed to compare pictures, to compare claims. And of course, the system should have kind of attractive business case. So we decided to launch the project, and we did it. We launched the white proof of concept 5 years ago, exactly 5 years ago, and it wasn't just a proof of concept. It was a big challenge because we were dealing with 300,000 claims with 9 million pictures. That was just proof of concept, which we finished a year later, maybe a year and a half. And then, based on a ready use case, ready business case, we decided launch the project on the entire market. Polish Insurance Guarantee Fund was the institution which decided to build the system, database, etc. Company named Control Expert delivered the technical solution, not only, but they were very active in the entire project, coming up with the greatest ideas. And this system was fully launched on production exactly a year ago. And we decided to deal at the very beginning with last year and a half of the claims. Means the historical data which were transferred initially to the system. It was like 50 terabytes of data. You can see numbers here. Over 3 million cases with 85, 86 million of pictures. Pretty large. And objectives of this project, it was not only fraud detection. We also wanted to reduce the time cycle, the claims handling time, which of course gives us particular savings, for example, on courtesy cars. And we also wanted to achieve the preventive effect, because instead of identifying frauds, we want to avoid them. So this project was not secret. We are proud of this project. We want our customers to know that we implemented such solution. And of course, we want criminals to know that we have such a tool. We do not have time to describe all the functionalities, how the system works, technology, how it looks like from the user perspective. But I want to assure you that the system is very they're very user-friendly, means that you don't even need special training for it. And one employee can analyze hundreds of initially matched cases daily without significant effort. Users have easy access to basic data. I mean, you can see data of matched claims, and you, of course, can see matched pictures. Pictures on which the system identified similar damage are marked, but also you have an access to any other pictures to check and decide whether it's really fraud or not. Typical frauds detected, I think you can come up with the idea what it can be. Of course, the most common is fraud based on using the same damaged car, damaged parts. So you can find easily among millions of claims pictures, you can find the same damage on the same car, which of course you say, oh, if I have just a VIN number, it's easy. But you have to remember that sometimes criminals just use damaged parts, which is the second example. And sometimes damage is just extended. The system also can detect the previous damage, which is overlapped by the new one. And the funniest thing, we found hundreds of pictures, maybe even thousands, used by workshops. They use the same pictures to prove the particular used technology, damaged part, whatever. They use the same pictures dozens of times. So it was the biggest surprise for us. I said at the beginning that I'm excited about the system. I'm very proud of it, but not only because of the technology. I am excited mainly because over 90% of the market decided to join voluntarily. This is not the system which has been developed, implemented, and given to insurance companies. The entire market was involved from the beginning, from the idea till the implementation. Currently, over 90% of the motor claims are analyzed on a daily basis. In a few months, it's going to be 97% of the market share, if you measure it by the share of premium or claims, whatever. And I think that this is the biggest project ever on the Polish market, and which is the best, such successful. But I don't want to tell you that it was easy. I just show you several slides it looks like a piece of cake. But of course, we had to face many problems, let's say challenges rather, like many false positives, of course. Quality of the data. Major number of pictures. For example, some of the insurance companies, I still don't know why, they take more than 50, 60 pictures per case, while others take just 20. So dealing with millions of pictures is really challenging, but we overcome majority of those problems, challenges. So if anyone wants to follow, be happy to share the experience. But this is not end of the story. Photo system gave us very powerful tool. We can think now about new functionalities. And of course, the recent, very popular recently topic, AI usage in frauds. For sure, it exists. This trend exists already, and not only in the Polish market. And therefore, the Guarantee Fund, together with insurance companies, decided to test a new feature. And now we are trying to identify pictures which were modified by AI, created by AI, or just downloaded from the internet. To make a fraud, you don't need to use damaged parts now. Damaged car, you can just produce damage in a few seconds by using AI. You can see here simple examples, but for sure you saw many. Non-damaged cars can have damage in a few seconds. You can do it in opposite way, means that you can virtually repair the car. This is the example when you want to insure it and then report a claim. And higher level is just generating the pictures of non-existing cars, non-existing damage. It's very easy. But at the same time, I said there is technology. There are several vendors who can do it very well. One of them is a representative of one of them is sitting next to me. We are already tested the solution, and again, it works. If any one of you wants to know more details, if any one of you wants to know how we overcame those challenges I mentioned, I will be happy to share the experience or contact you with Guarantee Fund or my colleagues. You can find me during the coffee break or later via email. By the way, this photo was also generated fully by AI. Thank you very much.
This is quite interesting, and okay, if it's true that a picture speaks more than 1,000 words, I don't know how much spoke for you any of these pictures. Do you have an assessment of how much this new technology implemented helped in detecting fraud?
Yeah, of course. We measure the effects. Initially, I mentioned that we prepared the business case for the implementation based on results of this wide proof of concept. So we calculated it. And of course, at the beginning, we can fight hundreds of frauds. But then I mentioned also preventive effects. So we expect that this kind of frauds will be almost impossible in the future. I mean, will be detected immediately after we get the pictures. So also I think that Guarantee Fund can share, Polish Guarantee Fund can share the results with any who is interested in it. But we found that this system allows us to prevent the kind of frauds which we didn't came up with before. So still, we are looking for the new features, and we are sure that the business case will be growing.
Okay, then should fraudsters become more creative, in your view? Yes. Or are they creative enough?
I have a question. There's many Polish cars driving outside of Poland. Actually, it's probably the most viewed foreign license plate in Europe. So there are many Polish people that practically live abroad, have a Polish license plate. So how do you cope with that sort of situation?
Well, I'm afraid, first of all, many of those Polish registration plates, those cars or scooters, they are not owned by Polish citizens. This is another story. I think I can prepare the presentation for a next conference, but this is a kind of a fraud. I mean, prices of third-party liability insurance in Poland is relatively low, and it is used mainly in Italy, but also in other countries. But secondly, I'm afraid that there are no such solutions as the central pictures database in Europe. So it's quite difficult to deal with this kind of frauds, which are based on damage reported abroad to other insurance companies. But of course, we are trying to find out using just database without pictures, of course, but it takes more time, more efforts, and costs a lot. Currently, when we try to reduce the claims handling time from 15 days to 10, we can do it with such a small number of cases that we feel that we still have a problem with it.
Other questions from the hall? You have? Oh. Yes.
Of course. Of course, it makes mistakes. You saw hundreds of matches, and majority of them are false positives. But I would like to admit that sometimes, because we talk about million of claims, and sometimes you need few minutes, not seconds, few minutes to compare and to be sure that this is not the same damage. You know, the mechanism of some accidents are similar, so damage sometimes are similar. And if we talk about mistakes, false positives, which we had to tackle with, for example, dismantled cars. System treated them as damaged. And, you know, dismantled cars look the same. So this is one of the examples what we needed to manage.
Thank you, Tomasz.
Okay, let's now continue. We were talking about motor cars. A lot of things are happening in the motor car world, and we are going to have a presentation about connected cars. Now we're all trying to live with electric cars, which is already a challenge. Now we're going to talk about connected cars. That's you talking to your car. Does the car speak your language? But your car is also speaking with others. What happens in terms of the communication difficulties? Well, we will hear all that from Yuval Scheffler, who is the Chief Revenue and Product Officer and partner of Auto3P, the same company as Uri Maimon. And he's going to tell us about the future of connected cars. Does it have a future? Please, sir.
So, good morning. Dobro utro, everyone. Excited to be here. Thank you, Emil. I would start by saying that we're celebrating now 27 years together with Emil. So, thank you, Emil. Great to be here. And it's also great and exciting to talk about AI. I think drives interest, I think, globally. And the connected car fits into that quite seamlessly. At the end, as people, we're fed with different sensors. So it's our eyes, it's our ears, it's our ability to sense in general. Same goes with managing claims, and that's what I'll be talking today. So I'll move on and start by just presenting us as a company. So Auto3P, we're a global software house focusing solely on claims and repair management. That's what we do. We do it for more than 30 years now, serving today more than 50 insurance companies. Some of them are here, but companies from Allianz and other global names like Fidelidad and so forth, serving more than 500 corporate fleets. So names like Avens, Hertz, Avis in different places in the world, and more than 2,000 repair shops. At our core, we have a parts catalog that holds today more than 7 million parts, more than 80 brands, covering all the different brands from United States, Europe to China, and managing more than 2 million claims. Now, before going into how we're using AI to drive our claims, let's look a little bit about what drives us at the end of the day. So we all understand that high operational costs are a burden, and we want to reduce it. And at the end, it's all due to manual processes, right? And the fact that there are many different stakeholders that are seemingly disconnected. The second part, and I think it was broadly discussed in the previous presentation, is fraud, which is driving around 30% of our costs. And lastly, we want to provide a better customer experience. And all these three, I think, drive us to doing a more automated, AI-driven estimations. So diving a little bit deeper to understand the challenge. So basically, we're in a world where we need to manage many different players in the ecosystem. As you can see, there are many different players, and they're all disconnected. And more than that, their systems are disconnected. So it's hard for them to communicate with each other. But it's not only about passing data, it's about analyzing the data, and every place in between those players is a bottleneck. And this is exactly what we're looking to solve. So looking at the systems today, they're basically manual, disconnected, and slow. And if you look at the system of the future, it has to be immediate. You have to know exactly when the situation happened in order to provide the relevant service to the client, reduce operational cost, and reduce fraud. So the next generation system is fully connected, smart, and at the end, it's immediate. Now, let's look at how the future system can actually work. And what I'm about to show you is something that is already working, right? It's a solution that can help you manage the entire claim process from the start to the end in a fully automated manner. So it starts by understanding and knowing exactly when an accident happened. So generating or taking physical forces coming from the connected car and then notifying the insurance company, which sends a message to the driver to share photos and, if needed, to provide assistance. This moment, an automated claim file is being opened. We know exactly where the accident happened. We know the damage. We know the force. And we're able to generate a preliminary estimation based on physical forces. At the same time, we're taking the images and complementing the estimation to create a full, a more reliable estimation. So you have now two sensors coming from the physical forces and from images. By that, you're able to take the full estimation and automatically approve it, send it to the customer, and you're done. I'll speak about it a little bit later, but imagine you can really take all those small claims and make them fully automated. So all those small claims that are real operational burden, and you can do the entire process fully automatic. Now, what does it take to really do that? At the end of the day, you have to have all these components together to make the system work, right? You have to have the right sensor, like I explained in the beginning, coming from the car, in order to know about when the accident really happened. So we are leveraging connected car sensors, as you can see on the right-hand side, that measures the physical forces and notifies when the accident really happened. But it does more than that. It knows exactly what was the impact, the direction, and the force. And by that, it can pretty much serve as a sensor that will tell you where and what was the damage. In addition to that, we're taking the images, and all this information is being sent to the center. Now, you have to have an AI that really knows how to take all this information, analyze it, and to start creating the full picture of the situation. At this point, it needs to connect to a catalog that, again, has to be able to speak the same language, take all the information, and start creating an estimation. Then at this point, you need to start collaborating with the different stakeholders. So it has to be with the parts supplier, with the insurance company, with the assessor, and the repair shop. Once you have all this in place, you can really make this entire process automated, or in some cases, as a co-pilot, assisting the insurance company, because as we know today, this can serve for certain cases, but not for all cases. But interestingly enough, we're able to handle all the cases that are more painful, which are the smaller cases, which at the end of the day cost us more and cost us less in terms of payment. Now, this is the full process at the end if you break it down. You need to know exactly when the accident happened. Then you're able to create an initial estimation. You can complement it with images, make it fully transparent, and then create the entire process to be fully seamless. Now, in terms of AI, what does it take in order to manage all that, right? So we said that the different systems need to be able to talk to each other. So the first step that we had to do was to create what we call a unified standard catalog. This was the base for being able to connect all the different data pieces. Why? Because if the AI tells you that a certain part was damaged, you need to be able to connect it to the catalog and understand which part is it. Is it a part that can even be repaired or just replaced and so forth? And then I need to be able to connect it to the physical forces sensors and so forth. So this was the core of being able even to work with all this AI infrastructure, is to create this layer that translates and connects between all the different parts. Now, the second element is how do we use the connected car data? So, for instance, what we're doing is we're taking G-force that is measured from the car, analyzing, understanding exactly what was the impact, what was the force, what was the exact degree, and by that understanding what was the damage impact, and more than that, what are the parts that can potentially be involved in this accident. Imagine, only with images, it's very, very hard to know if any internal part was damaged or not. Now with this, you also have a view to what is going on inside the car. Naturally, we're also using image recognition to complement our estimation. So we're combining the different sensors in order to provide a more holistic view. Here we're using image recognition that also uses 3D modeling in order to be able to measure on a centimeter level the damages in every part of the vehicle, but more than that, marking and actually creating a stamp that prevents fraud and duplicating images and using them again and again, I think similar to what was presented earlier today. So to summarize, you really need to have all these ingredients in place in order to create a fully automated solution. But I think the good news is that today, all these ingredients exist. You just need to be able to connect them together to create a fully integrated, automated solution. Now, I'll summarize just the opportunity, and I think this is the most exciting part. At the end, right, 40 or 50% of all cases are minor cases. Minor cases that the operational costs of managing them are similar to managing larger cases. And what if we can take all these minor cases and make them fully automatic, right? So the benefits are huge. You can really settle them from remote immediately. This will avoid fraud, improve customer experience, and really reduce operational costs. And this is something that is available today. Now, for the bigger claims, still, I think there is a way to go until all of this will be fully automatic. But here also there are quite significant benefits because you can really fence the damage. You can help reduce fraud, you can speed up the process, and generate quite a bit of benefits. Second. Let's move on. This, I think, is stuck. In any case, it's stuck just before one last slide, so it's okay. So to summarize, we really believe, thank you, that this is exciting times because I think that now we really have all the ingredients in place to leverage this new technology and start driving value to our customers and to us as service providers. And it's not tomorrow, it's really today. You need to find where this can fit, but this is ready. This is something we can start using today. I guess you can talk to Emma later on to get some additional information. Any question will be welcome.
Please wait for the microphone because the translators can hear you without it.
Thank you. So this is very impressive. In your estimation, in Europe in particular, today, how much of the insured fleet, overall, private and corporate and everything, is technologically advanced enough in terms of sensors and cameras and all those types of things to enable this to work fully? And then do you have a tier of technology or of service that allows you to accomplish a lot of the same things without so much data, like a car that maybe has sensors that are basic compared to complete, or that maybe has the ability to detect the fact that there's been a collision, but maybe not enough detail to assess damage based on that?
Okay, I'll repeat the question. So basically, the question is if we can work with partial data in order to provide the full estimations. So naturally, it's like us as people. If we don't have the full data set, we cannot provide exact resolutions, right? So the more data, the better the results. But I think that the good news is that like people, we're able to combine. So where we have physical forces, it's much better because we can see inside. We can know exactly when the accident happens. But this doesn't mean that we cannot use only images in certain cases. We just have less information, right? We wouldn't know that the accident happened, but we can still, if the customer notifies us, we can send him a link and he can send us the pictures and we can analyze them. So I think that we can generate value with what we have, and this is what we need to do. But the more sensors we have, the more data, the more exact we can be. And I can say that, for instance, today we're working with Volkswagen globally, right? And Volkswagen already, in their new generation cars, are already producing the cars with G sensors. So the new connected cars come with this capability and can provide us with this additional connected car data. Any additional questions?
Come on, now's the time. Anybody else?
Here.
So, a quick question. Do you experience, or your client experience, that the end customers are reluctant to share data like this because of personal issues or GDPR, or how do you see this? Will it be adapted, or do people feel monitored?
So that's, okay. The question was if end customers are sometimes afraid of sharing their data. So I guess this is a complex question. It really depends on the situation, but we've been handling it quite a bit. And the main answer is that we're taking data only when the accident happens. We never measure data when the driver is using the car. I can say that we're doing a project in China where data protection is something very, very important. So you're not even allowed to measure the location of the vehicle and so forth. And what we've done is take out the information only when it's above a certain threshold. And when it's above a certain threshold, it's being sent to our cloud service, analyzes them, and just in the moment of an accident, it's being sent to us. And then there are two benefits. One, you can really send help to the customer. I guess all of you saw the Apple, right, accident capabilities that were launched, I think, 2 years ago. And so customers are excited, at least about the ability that we can actually help them and provide them service. And at the same time, provides value, of course, for the insurance company because they can fence the fraud. Having said that, this is sometimes an issue, and some customers do not want that. Okay? Any other questions?
Can you give us an idea about the number of sensors and cameras an average car would need to make this work? And how much would that cost?
So in this case, we don't have a camera inside the car, right? So we're asking the customer to take the photos. But in terms of sensors, G sensors, you essentially need one good sensor. And if you look at today's cars, connected cars, they have a few sensors inside. So to your question, we need one G sensor that sits inside the car. This is an example of a small sensor that we're putting inside the car. So essentially, you need only that to be able to measure the impact.
So dealing with small claims, that you said that the huge amount, we all know that in order to deal with the costs associated to these claims, which were quite a burden on the budgets of insurers, because managing the claim costs the same as a big claim, they have introduced the franchises or deductibles for the value of the claim. Has this solution the potential to help insurers eliminate these deductibles, so help customers to be indemnified for the full value of claim, even in the cases there are small claims?
Well, I'm not sure that this can solve the deductibles, This is, I think, another business question. But it can definitely reduce operational costs, which is a huge burden on minor cases. And I believe that, in general, all small cases, or being able to provide additional services for small claims, this will open up a new set of opportunities. Because as an insurance company, the business model suddenly changes. Because when you reduce the operational costs, you reduce the fraud, then the mathematics around providing small claims coverage will change. Thank you.
Well, now we are going to the last presentation of this section, and we will hear from Ioana Palmberger. She is non-life business specialist and works within Vienna Insurance Group on the retail insurance and business support. And they have developed a very interesting solution that not only gathers and connects service suppliers, techies, everything, but also unifies the process across all the markets where VIG is active. And they are actually present everywhere in our region. So I imagine there are also economies of scales in sharing some services. Ioana, please explain us.
Thank you and good morning. Nice to see such a big expert crowd here. I'm not here to talk about AI. I'm here to talk about human intelligence, building up a system which saves costs, which makes everything faster, and which makes no mistakes because simply it's not deciding by itself. Back in 2017-18, our companies were really struggling with foreign claims, green card claims, due to the fact that we had huge portfolios, large number of claims, a few qualified people, which is still the case, but you will see what we did to come in their help. And so we thought, based also on the experience, on the exchange we had with our partners and so on, what would it be to unify this first notification of loss process into one place for the whole group, where all the corresponding partners would notify the claim, where our companies, which are acting as corresponding partners, would notify the claim. And one step further, what would it be to have this coverage confirmation, which was such a pain back then, within seconds, make it automated. A little bit about VIG. I know maybe it's not necessary to spend time on it. We are the leading insurance group in Central and Eastern Europe, with more than 50 companies and pension funds across 30 countries. We have 30,000 employees and 33 million customers. We have been in the Standard & Poor's rating, starting now with positive outlook from stable, so one step further for us this year. Countries where we are number one in top 5 and in top 10. I will go to the platform because that's the interesting part of my presentation. What it is. It's an API enabled tool, web-based platform, where, like I said, the first notification of loss for foreign claims is being done currently. What we wanted to do and what we achieved. We started early 2019 with developing it, implemented it in 2020 in most of our companies. in order to be at this point today where we have this running and think a step further in enhancing it with AI and so on. What it did was reduce the processing time. We had back then even 2 months or more just for a simple, yes, we have this vehicle insured within our company, and please proceed with handling the claim, which caused unnecessary costs like rental vehicles, lawyer costs, loss of use, and so on and so forth. I'm coming from the other part where I dealt with foreign claims, especially German claims. Germany is the most difficult market where the majority of claims is coming from. And I can remember, I always remember the pain I felt when I took over the 3,000 claims which were open when I arrived, and I needed to pay 40,000 euro for this is absurd even when I'm thinking about it now. A truck went into a gate in Germany of a private entity. The people there hired a person to open and close the gate. And because we couldn't, I will say now, one of our Romanian companies, we could not confirm the coverage on time, and took 2 months to confirm the coverage. We paid that guy and this company 40,000 euro for somebody opening and closing the door. Yeah, this is absurd. Yeah. Thank God we don't have that, or maybe if we do, these are exceptions. We have all the details provided from the start. It goes beyond yes or no question. I will show you a bit later. We are not losing emails anymore, or the people cannot overlook emails, yeah? And of course the instant checks of missing or wrong information, and really good analytics on it, which is leading in the end to what is interesting for us and for our clients, of course, and for the third parties, which don't care about these bureaucratic things. They just want their money, and we want to pay fair. This is how our Europe map looks like. We have currently 29 companies and branches of companies. Is this all visible? Almost. Yeah, I think it's a bit to the left. It looked different on my screen. It's fine. External partners which are handling our claims in Western Europe, and our companies in Central Eastern Europe. The average claim costs were even reduced, if I could see now, I'm really bad with numbers, around 3% for claims under 5,000 euro, 3.2 for the threshold 5,001, 10,000, and observed 12.9% for claims, thank you, 3.4, between 10,001 and 25,000. Which generated by now more than 13 million euro in annual cost saving. I must say we have around 45,000 foreign claims a year in our group, out of which, so this is 40% in number and 26% in value. And out of these foreign claims, as you know, we have very few notified early. So this is where the job of the colleagues, which previously had such great solutions in the moment of the accident, where this could all go faster and be sent to the insurer. We would really like to have the results of what is happening until the claimant notifies the claim, because out of these 45,000 claims, merely 34% are notified within 5 days from the accident occurring. And if you can believe, we have an average of 99 days group-wide until the first notification of loss reaches us. So there's a space there in the 34% of early notified claims to actually save money while having a fast process. I don't know how it looks for you, but this is our reality in VHG. Now I talk less and show you more. Daniela, if we could also push more to the right the screen, because it's cut. Yes, thank you so much. I will show you how it's looking in practice. Can I play it somehow from here? No? Somebody needs to play. Yeah. No. Sorry for the technical errors which occur always, even when I'm doing online meetings, when I need to test and check something, it's blocking. But it's not only for me, it's for everybody, I noticed, so it's not. Yes. There's exactly there. Thank you. So, can I somehow pause it from here as well? Yes, I can. Great, now it's working. We have the process split into 2 parts. Please, after I'm showing you this video, forget about what you've seen and imagine that currently we have it automated in majority of our companies onboarded, meaning it's a system-to-system communication. External partners, they work in their own system. The information goes through the platform into our company's insurance system. Response is going back via the ICP into the external partner's system, and that's it. So just in case there's a problem with the policy and no automated validation could be done, then the claim handler would see this UI. Yeah? But just that you envision and see the process, so we have split it into 2 parts. This little check of the plate number and date of accident as a pre-validation. In case there's no vehicle identified based on this information, we are also not allowed, due to GDPR reasons, to obtain further data of the claimant and so on. So we simply, now it's not working again anymore. I will not stop it anymore, I will just let it run. So it's event date, a plate number, the country of the accident, insurer country, insurer name, if it's known. If not, it's going to both of our companies in that country. A reference number of the partner notifying the claim. Then can be done a new one or going into the coverage checklist. And here you see that it already went green. So this means there is a policy for that plate number and the partner can proceed with opening the claim and adding the details which he has when he received the claim. That's how we can see how fast our partners are. Some details, vehicle type, brand, model, if known. We just have mandatory fields, accident details and vehicle type. These are from amicable reports, a drop-down list. Of course, reserves can be created as many as needed. If there are 20, 30 claimants, like I had a case with 35, can be added for each one reserve. Also for other types of damages, not just vehicles, but also, I don't know, like in the case earlier, gates and so on, and bodily injuries or death. And after this is being done, there's the possibility to attach whatever is needed: police reports, amicable reports, photos of the accident. So I used ChatGPT to generate a full claim. It told me at one point that it got too realistic and he cannot do that because this would be fraud. So I asked him to make fictional data and just do it so I can show it to you. And the notification is being done. If there's a case which was already notified, there's a disclaimer: hey, are you sure you're not creating a double claim on it? And going back to the user interface, the file is being opened in the local system, given a number in some seconds. This is how it works. We did not have any failures on the automated flow. You see the whole history, so until I talked and so on, it was 3 minutes from the first touch till the coverage confirmation. Plus, of course, you see the confirmation in the platform if you want, and if they touch it, it goes on the email of the partner, but also there's a PDF with all of the documents attached in this claim. So this means no more downloading of 20 files and attaching them in the system. You have one with all the tracking history, with the data, partner provided data, which were confirmed by the insurance company, and the attachments provided. AI. And yeah, this is how it looks like and what it does. Within some seconds we have this. It reduced the effort for our companies at least 15 to 30% per day per person. So it means that the people are no longer checking 7 systems to write emails. They can look into liabilities. They can use the human intelligence to actually make a difference and save some money. So yeah, this was it from my side. Should you have questions or interested in more details, of course, I showed you a small portion. There are reports in, there's all kinds of features, and we are not stopping here. Starting with this year, next year we will have automatic reserve updates into the system, and we turn it simply into a whole claims handling platform for our companies, so that we have end-to-end process. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ioana. Are there questions for Ioana at this moment? Well, I assume you will
Coffee break.
You will have the break to talk a little about. What I want to ask very briefly, do you have an evaluation of the financial impact, let's say, of introducing this solution in your system?
Yes, I mentioned in the beginning we have this savings, but also it's not just about what we observe in the tendencies. We cannot put a price or estimate on the claim handlers' efforts which were saved on this redirected, and there's a variety of factors to take into consideration with such a solution. And I don't know, all of you, how you are with reporting, but we kind of miss such granular details that we can really say, hey, this saved here 1,000, 5,000, 100,000. But due to the reporting we have in the tool, we see how fast it was, and we see that even with the companies who are working still in manual flow, which have low volumes, but they had confirmation times to 3, 4, 5 weeks, and now they do it in the same working day manually. Yeah, so I think you cannot put a figure on that value added.
So this is an advantage for the company. Is there an advantage for the consumer?
It is an advantage because he gets his money on time. He doesn't need to wait. He doesn't need to complicate with getting a lawyer to push the insurance company and so on and so forth. So yeah, we have immediate reaction. We have the confirmation, so they can handle the claim on time. He's getting his money, doing the repair, and yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for coming back. Now we have a series of 4 speakers, and then we go to lunch, but that's after hour and a half, so I pass the floor to Daniela.
Thank you. Yes, and so first of all, I would like to thank you all for the way that you have, all the speakers, for the way they have answered to our request to keep it in the time. Also, I would take advantage of this moment until you are all seated to draw your attention to the reports that are on your table. These are the latest editorial products of Expreme. I don't know how many of you know that we are producing insurance statistical reports for 30 markets in the Central, Eastern, and Southeastern Europe and Eurasia. So for those who are interested to see how insurance business is faring in the area, you have there a reliable source of information. They are free. You can take as many as you need and you want, so we strongly encourage you to take them. That being said, I think we are ready to start again. And we will start with the presentation given by Krasimir Donchev, Chief Technology Officer for InSprit Bulgaria. And its title, it's very inspiring because it says AI in action, reimagining the claims journey. I imagine, as far as I can say after all that I have read and listened today, that it is in the end reimagining the insurance business in its entirety. But let's see what will be in the claims section.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So first of all, I'm really nervous and really honored to be in front of such a crowd. It's my first time. I'm presenting since forever, but never before such group of people. So I'm really honored, and please forgive my mistakes. So what our host said actually is loading with expectation the results of my presentation. But what I'm going to share with you is just my thoughts. I will not share a solution like this magnificent solution which we were witnessing in the first part of this event. But I will share some thoughts. I will try to give you ideas, and whenever the idea become alive, then the way to turn this idea into something real is just short way. There'll always be a way to do that. So, reimagining the claim journey. I will give you a lot of numbers. And most of the numbers you're not going to be able to check. The magic of the numbers is that they are just triggering something in our minds, and we either remember them or agree with them or just discard them. So probably we'll discard most of them, but you will get the idea what I want to say. And before I start, I really love to talk about artificial intelligence. I love to talk about intelligence in general because it's lacking, lately. Well, the natural intelligence starting to be not enough. Well, we have already an artificial one. And I don't know how many of you actually making a difference between what was artificial intelligence before the appearance of ChatGPT. Artificial intelligence is here since forever. I mean, 15 years ago, we started with machine learning algorithms and all that stuff, and artificial intelligence was something, exotic. But suddenly, in 2024, ChatGPT 3.5 appeared and started answering our stupid questions. They are really stupid. My first question to ChatGPT was, how many people will live in the earth in common? And he said, 100 billion. I said, okay, I believe you. 100 billion. Can you think about that? We are really lucky. We are 7 billion right now, and it's kind of difficult to comprehend why so few people actually have lived in the planet since the humanity exists. But anyway, that was my first question. Since then, I tried almost everything with artificial intelligence. Asking, generating articles, generating pictures, generating art, text, for example, programming. I'm a developer in my company, kind of developer, but I tried everything. And I also tried to provoke enough artificial intelligence in the ChatGPT to reveal something, to reveal how it works. What is the principle behind these LLM models? And how many of you know about that? Oh, sorry. I need just to restart my... LLM is working on the principle of the similarity. There is a very simple equation, actually, which is giving the power of this model. And I think it's called cosine similarity or something like that. It's really simple. But it gives the ability of artificial intelligence called large language model to make the conclusion that cat and a kitty is the same thing. It's called reasoning. All right. So whenever we talk about the intelligence, we are in undeterministic world. We need to make decisions based on assumptions in the best case. Well, the other thing is called automation. I mean, when you have a trigger, which is determined, like a trigger, like an event, and then make a decision, it's called automation. But when you need to make reasoning and make something out of it, it's already a kind of assumption. So intelligence is not deterministic. In this manner, actually, artificial intelligence is just smarter by the ratio than us, but it does the same mistakes. And the thing that is interesting, as when it is evolving and getting smarter and smarter, the ratio of the mistakes actually is getting bigger and bigger, because it's, the doubts come into play. But enough, I mean, I just need to start. Well, that's me, and that's on top is my company. It's not my company. I was lucky enough and smart enough to get married to the boss, and that's why I'm saying it's my company. But, since then, I'm CTO, meaning that I actually go to such an event and talk about the technology a lot, much more than people want to hear from me. So our company is already 15 years. We are like a 15 magician in the cave, comparing to large companies you're representing. But we're doing our magician and helping our customer already for 15 years. And I am proud to say that the insurance sector is one of our major market places when we are actually contributing. So what are the traditional claim challenges, this is something that you know much better than me. I have rudimentary knowledge on the insurance business. I know only that which helps me to do my job. That's it, no more. But I do know some fancy words, which I'm going to use today in order to be trustful for you. So these challenges, I would say, they are not only in the insurance business. They are so in common. So I put this presentation on every sector in the industry. I can go to the banking sector and put the same slide. Well, what is the difference between banking and insurance? A big one. I had to explain to my son how the banking business is actually working, and said to him, they are selling money. But I was not right. I mean, they're selling really expensive money. It's not a good business model. What banking actually is selling is time in advance. You can just go 30 years in front, taking let's say, a big mortgage and fulfill your dreams. So you're buying time, not money. You're paying a lot for this money, so it's not it's not a good bargain. So you said, one of the speakers before me said that insurance actually is selling hope, and that's absolutely true. So to sell hope, you need to be trustful. And whatever, that was kind of, detour in my thinking, but challenges, yeah, it's a manual processing, most of the cases. Well, the things that we saw up until now, it is no longer the 100% of the cases, but the manual work is still there, and it will be there a long, long time. And it actually slows out every stage of the claim journey. Inconsistent decision, it will be there, but it will be improved in so many ways. And artificial intelligence will help that drastically. So we will talk about that a little bit later. Delayed settlements, okay. So it's about time. It's always about time, because the time is the only commodity we cannot buy except from banks. Okay. Rising cost, of course, pressure of margin, etc. So all these challenges, I said, they are quite common for every industry. Well, why AI matters? Because of the speed. I mean, they measured, I think, the ratio of intelligence, of the artificial intelligence, it's like 150 or 60, but we are talking here only about large language models. We are not talking here about other type of artificial intelligence models. So what is the difference? The difference is that large language models actually are trained, highly trained to reason, to make choices, to take out of the input which they are getting overtones and stuff which only human can take. So enriching in such a way the information that they get, they are capable for more and more choices which are so precise in some way, much more precise than the human, because the human judgment is always affected by the emotions. And LLM luckily still doesn't have this thing, but anyway, probably they will come to that. All these numbers that you can see here, you can get from this research. You can just scan the QR code over here, and you will get a really nice article. I am not able to check the things in this research, but it's really impressive. It's on my phone. Probably I will get some of the numbers in a while, when I start trying to convince you about the AI. But you will get this number by yourself if you go to this page and see how many things they have researched and how many numbers came out from this research. But in essence, it's a 60% faster processing. When AI is in the game. Accuracy is improved to 80%. Experience of the customer is improved in 20%. Cost is down in 40%. Many people in this room are C-level managers, right? So I happen to understand how simple it is to be a C-level manager like 15 years ago. You have 3 things to care about. Only 3 things. It's profit up, cost down, and risk flat. That's it. That's so easy to be a C-level manager. So once speed is increased, that means time is less, and time is money. So if you can spend or spare some time, you're earning money, you're profiting. But okay, if we go out from the context of the business, it's always about the time. And I'll repeat that several more times during my presentation. All right, that's the claim journey. You know that journey much better than me. I got it, well, I will be completely honest. I got this picture when I prepared my presentation. So I actually became aware of the claim journey like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I mean, full journey. I'm making a lot of calculations related to the claims and stuff, but never got the process from end to end. Now I got it. So we have what is called FNOL. Is that the correct pronunciation? FNOL? I asked ChatGPT, and he said, this is how it pronounced. It's not a lie, right? It's okay, okay. So we have this first notice of loss, then we have this cumbersome process of, categorizing, dispatching, navigating through the information in order to put it in the right channel for processing. Then we have a fight with frauds and what actually happened. And then we have overall evaluation, what we need to pay. And then we have the settlement, of course. So I will go really briefly on these first 4 stages. And most of you already have a pretty good idea that artificial intelligence can help a lot. So how it can help a lot in the first notice of loss? We saw how. A couple of speakers before me actually showed these magnificent solutions, and they could be much, much more. But I'll tell you something. Most of the things we saw were connected to the cars, which is kind of normal, because most of the claims probably coming from there. But can you imagine if it's not a car, but it's, for example, a fire of somebody's house or home? It's difficult to fraud, right? So, but it's probably more difficult to describe. And yeah, but because the cars are, let's say, the mass case of the claims, it's really important to be able to automate the process. So visual recognition is one of the things, and people are in this room, many people in this room are experts on this area. I'm not going to go there. But also, what would be the advantage of the large language model in FNOL process? I'm not talking about the machine learning algorithms which are specifically educated and trained for image recognition. I'm talking about the regular OpenAI language model. It could be prompted in a very specific and a good way in order to process and to turn unstructured story of a claim into a structured data. I tried that. I tried that many, many times with different unstructured documents. One of the things that I actually experimented was with CVs of our employees. I said, okay, I'm really lazy to see and which employee, what was the date of the contract. Can I make a simple application? I can. And I just prompted into, by using API, the language model, and he returned to me a really nice XML structure with data out of unstructured document. So that's really powerful, really powerful. And what's more important, it's really easy to be used, really easy to be implemented. And yes, there will be mistakes, because prompting should be really mastered before you start using the full potential of such intelligence. So once again, there is a big difference between large language model and the models who are trained for specific tasks. You realize that, right? But we start talking about the artificial intelligence when the large language model came into place. All right, so nice number. Again, it's from the same research. 26% of the customer satisfaction index is coming from there. So it's worth thinking about this part. Yeah? Why? Because by customer experience, we're gaining trust. And Mr. Covey, I think, not COVID, Mr. Covey, many years ago actually published an article or a book, I don't know. It's called Speed of Trust. How many of you have heard about it? The Speed of Trust. Stephen Covey. You know the guy? It's a business guru. I mean, I like gurus. So he's a guru. So he said, nothing actually makes the business more profitable, more successful than the trust. So manipulating this number, manipulating the trust actually is giving you a real big competitive advantage. So if you are interested, of course. So the triage, it's a process of, sorting out things. I mean, we got all this information, which channel it should be directed, who needs to process it, how it needs to be processed, what kind of policy should be applied to that, et cetera, et cetera. So you have a lot of things to solve with the triage. And, based on the AI capabilities, you can see some numbers here. 80% of early claims, sorting, et cetera, is already processed by AI-powered engines. Is that true? I don't know. The research says that. But 80%, it means almost twice, yeah? And 60% of claims will be triaged with automation by 2025. I think it's a wrong number because it will be bigger. In 2024, Satya Nadella was speaking on a Build conference on Microsoft. It's one of the biggest conferences of the developers in the world. So it was, let's say, 2 or 3 months after ChatGPT 3.5 actually emerged. And he said, guys, I need you to develop. I need your ideas. I need you to find out what we can do with AI. Only 2 years later, even not 2 years full later, but we are already talking about the agentic worlds. We're talking about a new type of internet called MCP internet, another abbreviation. It's a Model Context Protocol. It's the new HTTP. The software system which are based on the web right now, like the solution our colleagues just show us, they can turn into MCP servers, meaning that you can, with your chat, using them to make, for example, evaluation of a claim. It's just a fantasy for now, but it will come. It will become a real thing. Is that the time I have? Oh my gosh. I'm talking like crazy.
Please, please also, Krasimir, keep your mic closer to your mouth because
I'm screaming quite loud. Can you hear me, guys? Okay. Right. Okay. So the investigation, we already heard about the fraud detection and stuff, and we also see our Poland colleagues showing a magnificent system about that. So, and I really especially like this one. No matter how intelligent our system will become to fight the fraud, the enemy will become even smarter. I mean, he will challenge us always if we are the good guys and they are the bad guys. Well, it's conditional. All right, so evaluation, again, big numbers. Everything with the traditional, evaluation is slow. Everything with AI enhanced is fast. And in this research that you probably will take a look at it, it goes the processing, the average processing of a claim fell down to 36 hours, comparing to 10 days before that. I don't know what that means. They probably got every claim in the world and make some kind of averages. I don't know, but it's impressive. It's kind of, 8 times faster or something. Okay. Numbers, but also we have data. AI is only as good as data are. So, some data. I was quite stunned when I learned that there are 1,966,466 insurance companies in the world. Of course, it is not true. It might be true in just 1 second, but the guy who actually published this article was so specific. Well, Okay, you got the picture, 2 million companies. And they have, every year we have something like 7 billion claims. And these 7 billion claims actually are generating like almost 500 petabytes of data. What we can do with this data, how we can use this data. All right, I will be really fast because my zeros are here. So, the challenges with the data is the volume and velocity. They will not get any smaller, and they will not get a small momentum of expanding. Variety and complexity, only 15%, up to 15% of all data from these 500 petabytes are structured, meaning monitored, managed, controlled. The 85% of them are unstructured data, emails, PDFs, customer stories, whatever, just name it. So how we can use that? Fragmentation, they're everywhere. We have like, I think our colleague from the Vienna Insurance Group said 7 systems that the employees should have, checked 7 systems before make something. 7 system is fine. 70 system is not fine. It's 70 silos, of data everywhere. So it's a big problem. And scale requirements, because tomorrow we will need more and more space. And data have this nice, feature to expand to the place they have, no matter how big that place is. Okay, I'm already blocked. Oh, no, I'm not. What happened? Okay. There should be 1 or 2 slides more. They are important. No. No, they are hidden. It's not an AI. It's an NI. Anyway, so I would give you a couple of words about the technology which we are representing as a company. It's called Microsoft Fabric. It's a really nice platform which can give you a solution of all these challenges. And I'm really about to stop talking in a little while. So if you want to understand a little bit more about us as a company, I told you we are 15 magicians in a cave. So really, some of us shows up. So if you want to see what we are doing, just go to this QR code. You will land into our website and see what we are doing. And finally, just 50 seconds for my personal thought. Claim is a detour. Claim is an unfortunate event, except for the fraud people. But speeding up the claim is not only a business. It's a restoring human life. It's a restoring the path, the destiny of somebody. So if the claim is really serious, think about every one of these, okay, not everyone, but just let's exclude from the picture the fraud part. These 4 billion claims is somebody's issue, somebody's deep problem. So solving them faster, smarter, with every possible way we can have is actually a human act. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you, and have a nice conference.
Thank you, Krasimir. So, you see, in the end it was there. Thank you very much. Are there questions for Krasimir, or maybe you can talk later? Okay. Let's go on. Let's go on to our next speaker, Mr. Ivo Gruev, Executive Director and Management Board Member for Bullstrad VIG. And he will give us a very interesting presentation. I saw it, I have to confess, about transforming claims, empowering customers, and the self-service revolution. So, a glimpse in the future again, or it is actually already working?
Yes, thank you very much. So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I have already shared some of my impressions on the topic, but let me firstly introduce myself and our company. Actually, I'm responsible for claims, but not only for underwriting, for legal, for insurance, but I will be talking today
about claims only. Boostrat is one of the leading companies, insurance companies in the market, and it was established 1961, as I remember, a long time ago. It used to be a state-owned specialized insurer, but during the years it became a real esteemed leader in the market. It is part of Vienna Insurance Group. My colleague already mentioned that Vienna Insurance Group is the largest group in Central and Eastern Europe, with represented in more than 30 countries with more than 30 companies. So, let's go further. Actually, I spent a lot of years in the insurance industries and looking how customers' expectations evolve, how they change. And so today I'd like to share a story not just about technology, but about people, mindset, and trust. This is the story of how we at Boostrat, as part of Vienna Insurance Group, have been redefining the claims experience to better serve our customers in Bulgaria. Claims, as we mentioned in the previous discussions, is where everything comes together. The real test of trust between an insurer and its customers. When a claim happens, it's not just a financial transaction. It's a test of credibility, transparency, and empathy. Our journey began with a simple but powerful question. How can we make claims handling not a painful process, but to become an empowering experience? And we should turn to the back and what are the real driving reasons why change was necessary. And only a few years ago, our claims process looked almost exactly as it had looked 20 years earlier. I have a lot of colleagues of mine here. I still remember the piles of paper, the fragmented workflows, manual checks, the long waiting times in front of our claims handling centers. Customers were patient at that time, but the world around us has changed, and clients got used to live updates, instant deliveries, and full digital transparency. In Bulgaria, motor insurance, especially the motor-owned damage, has always been the cornerstone of the industry. And because of that, it has its peculiarities, which actually, in Bulgaria, we have no deductibles. That was one of your questions. The market works generally, of course there are exclusions, without deductibles in the motor-owned damage insurance. And because of that, this means almost every scratch or dent becomes a claim sooner or later. Around 60% of our claims are minor, small claims. This means up to 4 external details are damaged. And on the other hand, the handling them manually by experienced staff consumes enormous time and resources. It becomes evident that we were using our most skilled and valuable people for simplest tasks. That was our turning point. We understood that simply digitalizing paperwork was not enough and this is not a transformation indeed. It was simply the same old process on a new digital screen. The COVID-19, I should remind you on the all processes that were triggered by the pandemic, gave us an additional push, exposing the urgency of change and accelerating the shift towards digital solutions. In the end, we reached a clear conclusion: a fundamentally new approach was not only necessary, it was inevitable. So, what we did, to find inspiration, we looked outside the insurance industry. Actually, self-service is everywhere around us. Airlines were already testing
letting passengers check in online and print boarding passes. Supermarkets offered self-scanning and checkouts. Banks proved mobile apps that allowed customers to open accounts and to take loans in minutes. Especially the banking sector, it changed dramatically during the last years. So even hospitals introduced digital systems for patients, registration and consultancy. These examples showed us one thing: modern consumers appreciate independence. If they can manage a flight, bank account or medical appointment on their own, why shouldn't they be able to handle a simple insurance claim as easy? This mindset shift from service dependency to customer autonomy became the foundation for everything we built next to that. Why empowering matters for us? In our industries, the real moment of truth, as I already mentioned, is not when we sell the policy, it's when the customer suffers a loss. That's the moment when truth is truly tested. And during one of our internal workshops, a colleague of mine, unfortunately not sitting here, said something I'll never forget. People don't want to depend on us. They just want to know we are there if needed. That simple sentence became a guiding principle. For us, empowerment means giving customer control, clarity, and confidence, the sense that they are capable yet never alone. So instead of asking how we could handle more claims faster, we started asking a different question. How can we help our customers to feel confident doing it themselves, knowing we are there when they need additional help? So, the Boostrat digital ecosystem. At Boostrat, we realized that digital transformation could not be achieved through a single app or one-time project. It had to become part of our business philosophy, a complete ecosystem built around our customer needs. We wanted to remove friction, not people. That means creating processes that are simple, paperless, and queue-free, but still human at the core. Our teams redesigned the entire claims journey from the first notification to the settlement so that customers could choose how they wanted to interact through the mobile app, web portal, physical office, our contact center. For our employees, the ecosystem means something else, a new way of working. Many routine activities were automated, giving experts more time to handle complex cases where human judgment is truly needed. Digitalization for us was never about replacing people. It was about giving them better tools to serve customers faster and more meaningfully. So, what we did, we developed our Boostrat-ready application, which we called the self-service revolution for Boostrat. We knew from the very beginning that technology should make life easier for customers, not complicated. So we launched Boostrat Ready, our self-service application that puts client in full control of the claims. Through the app, customers can report a claim anytime, anywhere, whether it's a broken windshield on a Sunday or flooded apartment during the holidays. The client simply upload photos and documents, choose their preferred repair shop, and track their claim step by step, all without a single phone call or office visit. In just 2 years, in 2 years approximately, more than 25% of motor insurance claims and 15% of property claims are now handled fully digitally. Even more impressively, 95% of those claims are completed without the customer to visit additionally our claims handling center and to meet to meet a surveyor in person. For our customers, that means freedom and speed.
For our teams, it means efficiency and clarity. And the results speak for themselves. Average settlement time dropped from 8 days to just 48 hours. But this concerns only the digital claims. And our net promoter score increased by over 40%. This is the client satisfaction. I was given this figure by the marketing department. I'm not pretty sure is it okay or not, but it sounds good at least. That was not just a process of improvement. In our understanding, that was a revolution in the customer experience. So, empowerment in action. Let's take a closer look at what empowerment really means in practice. In the past, customers had to wait for us to tell them what to do next, what they would be paid, or whether a repair was approved. Today, the dynamic has changed. They can check every step themselves right from their phone. Take, for instance, one of our long-term clients, a logistic transport company with a large fleet. Their fleet manager now uses Bootstrap Ready up to handle minor claims instantly. What used to take a week of back and forth is now done in a few clicks. But empowerment doesn't only serve customers. It also transforms our agents and brokers. They now have access to the same digital tools, enabling them to register claims on behalf of clients, track progress, and get updates automatically. Everyone can see now the same information. At the same time, there are no hidden steps nor unanswered emails, and we don't give anymore the answers like, we will call you back. And when you build that kind of transparency, trust grows naturally. That's how we understand empowerment. I mentioned today that we should keep, on the other hand, the so-called physical places where actually claims are reported. And these are the so-called customer zones. But we wanted also to digitalize them and to make them much more customer-friendly and much closer to the client. So even in digital age, physical interaction still matters. That's why we didn't close our offices. We reimagined them. In most Bootstrap client centers, we introduced smart kiosks and digital customer desks, where clients can submit a claim on a touchscreen and receive instant feedback, all in a comfortable, guided environment. Our staff shifted from doing paperwork to being digital assistant. Instead of printing, stamping, or scanning, they now help customers to navigate the digital kiosks, explain coverage, or finalize settlement on the spot. We call this support on demand, not by default. Customers can do everything alone, but never feel left alone. By combining this physical presence with digital simplicity, we created a model that keeps the human touch while eliminating frustration. We made a lot of experiments with AI. Not that positive experience, but we continue. We believe that sooner or later this will be an important part of our business. So, okay, AI at this stage is not going to replace people, but it will be helping. It will save time, improving accuracy, and deliver greater value to the customers. At Bootstrap, we started by testing image recognition tools that can analyze photos of cars damaged and instantly generate damage report and repair cost estimates. Today, we are experimenting in several directions. When a customer uploads photos through the Bootstrap Ready app, the AI automatically identifies the damaged vehicle parts, and even suggests when an in-person inspection is needed. We also use AI for fraud detection, cross-checking, claim patterns, timing, historical data, etc. Looking ahead, we are convinced that, at least we are hoping, that minor and straightforward claims will soon be handled entirely by AI, allowing our experts to focus their time and energy on complex cases where human judgment makes the difference. And here I can show you the results of our efforts. The outcome is impressive, in my opinion, and the number speaks for themselves. We achieved 60% reduction in the claim processing time and 30% drop in operational cost per claim. Of course, this concerns the digital claims only. More importantly, consumer satisfaction measured through our NPS rose by 40%. The shift inspired new collaboration across departments. This is important. IT, claims, legal, marketing began working as one team around the customer experience. We also strengthened our relationships with agent, brokers, and external partners. The app, the integrated portals, and data sharing were helping us to put them all together. Everyone involved in the process now benefits from faster turnaround times and fewer errors. For Boostrat, empowerment did not just transform claims, it transformed how we work together. What we learned from this journey, if there is one thing we have learned from this journey, it is that digitalization is not transformation itself, unless it changes how people think and how people work. We realize that technology alone doesn't create progress, mindset does. We discovered that self-service doesn't distance us from the client, it actually brings us closer. Empowerment drives satisfaction, satisfaction builds loyalty, and loyalty fuels growth in the business. When people can see, understand, and control what is happening, they trust you more. Transparency builds trust faster than any marketing campaign ever could. We also realize that empowerment isn't only for customers. It transforms our teams as well. When processes become simpler and clearer, people stop feeling like bureaucrats, and they feel rather like problem solvers, and our teams start to work better. And finally, we learned that true transformation is not doing the same thing with new tools. It's about rethinking the process itself. What are future projects? Our future projects, they are related to introducing fully automated vehicle inspection stations. Together with our technology partners from Revoxy, we are developing a fully functional prototype of a high-tech stationary installation capable of inspecting a car automatically in just a few seconds. As the vehicle passes slowly through a tunnel-like structure equipped with industrial cameras and precision LED lighting, the system captures between 20 and 50 high-resolution images covering every angle, front, rear, sides, and even the top view. The captured data will be integrated directly into Boostrat's claims and policy platforms. This will enable to implement the AI algorithms to identify the vehicle type, detect damages, and document its condition instantly. In practice, this means a customer could simply drive through a Boostrat inspection station, receive a fully digital report on the vehicle's condition, and issue a policy or file a claim at the nearby digital kiosk, all in just a few minutes. So, as a final words, I would like to say that we understate empowerment, our client, not as a tool to replace people, but giving customer freedom, clarity, and confidence. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Are there questions?
I have one question to you. What percentage of your clients does use this application you showed for the reporting the claim and then tracking the claim? Do you know what percentage of your clients does use it?
There are not so many. I cannot say the exact number. I can say the number of claims. But what we find is most important that intermediaries, agents and brokers, they start using it. They go on site, they visit either fleet or private client, they shoot the picture, they upload it, and they follow the whole process. And this is very much not only helping us, but also keeping this loyalty and this tight connection to the client. But it's already significant part. Unfortunately, this is at the time being digital lipstick. Behind the app, there is a person, there is a team who is checking the pictures, working together with simultaneously with the AI, but the AI is not good enough. It's making more mistakes than right decisions.
So these are just the first steps. In the future, it will get... Well, if I'm allowed a personal comment, I think it's very important increasing customers' loyalty, especially on the motor-own damage side, because people are paying much more attention to their relationship with the insurer, because the perceived value of the insurance is more important than when it comes about MTPL, where the actual beneficiary of the services is a third party. So that's
not only.
Quite
also
important.
On the household insurance, my colleagues are here. They started maybe a year ago, even less, and already a significant number of claims are reported directly. And we very much insist that everything is done through the app, not uploading pictures on our web portal, because we had a very bad experience, not we, I talk group-wide, with document farming, fake, bogus documents, which is not isolated case. It happens.
As usual, fraudsters are at least equally creative as those fighting fraud. Thank you very much. I think you deserve a round of applause. Karel, what's next?
Yes, we will now continue a little bit on the same road. Insurance is about people. We should never forget that. The most frequently asked question to a chatbot is, can I speak to a human being? And we cannot ask anybody more to talk about that than Emil Dimitrov of Revoxy here in Bulgaria. He is a co-founder of Revoxy, a company dedicated to driving innovation and digital transformation in the insurance sector, extensive experience in developing technology solutions for claims management and customer experience. And he has been instrumental in positioning Revoxy as a trusted partner for insurers across Central and Eastern Europe. And, of course, he's also the man who initiated this conference. Emil, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Karel. Once again, thank you, all of you, that you came here and share your insights and experience. Yeah, with Revoxy, we are dealing with the technology for more than 30 years, okay? And the system which we are building has an age for more than 25 years. But now I want us to put your attention on some interesting aspect of technology, and you will find that this aspect can be used to drive the loyalty of the client. Did you think about the empathy humanizing the technology. Yeah, I will try to take you through a journey where you'll understand how important it is to keep the technology empathic and human. Okay, insurance companies are in some part of them, they are like any other businesses. They sell something to their clients. In the case of insurance companies, they sell policies. Of course, they can play with the price and the quality of the policies, and they build a client base. And okay, the more clients they have, the more money they have, and this is a dream. You remember the Winnie the Pooh dream? The more it snows, the more it goes. In Bulgarian, it sounds like колкото повече, толкова повече. The more, the better. Okay, so the more policies we sell to the more clients, we have a lot of money, and this is quite nice. But in the insurance world, there is another channel where the important communication between the client and the insurance company takes part, and I'm talking about claims. Actually, when you sell a policy, you just sell a piece of paper to the client. They give you money for a piece of paper, and the real service of you starts when the client knocks on your door and has a claim. He's been in a trouble, he has some loss, and they have a claim. And this is the point where the quality matters most. And finally, and after that, finally, the decision which the client will make when they buy policy will be based, of course, on the price, but also on the reputation of the insurance company, which comes from the claims processing, and the personal experience which the client has from this claim processing when they had a claim. Okay, simple claim life cycle. Just a brief event which causes some loss. They claim to the insurance company. The insurance company responds somehow, then makes some processing. At the end, there is a settlement. But is this the end of the process? Yeah, technically yes. But after that, you leave the client either with disappointment, which will lead to canceling the experience of this particular client with your insurance company, or satisfaction, which will lead to retention. So that's how important it is to give the satisfaction to the client, because the retention depends on the satisfaction. And the customers have very simple natural needs. They usually want to be heard, they want to be understood, and they want to be valued. This is how they will assess you, and the disappointment or satisfaction will depend on that. Every question of them, they have to have adequate answer. Every request has to have timely response, and every problem has to have satisfactory solution. Okay, before the digital era, before we started to digitalize the processes in the insurance companies, how did we solve these problems? We had humans talking with humans, client talking to people in the insurance company. And this satisfaction depended very much on the quality of the people there, how they can serve the client, how qualified are they, how they can talk to each other, how they communicate between the departments, how they handle one single case. So they build the trust, the people. But after that, we started to put technology in the insurance companies. Not only the insurance companies, but here this is the case. And okay, what happened? We started to hide the people behind the technologies. We started to build portals, applications, AI systems, gadgets, call centers, etc. And finally, we came with a picture where the client stays in front of the insurance company, but they see a wall of technologies where they have to survive somehow. They don't see the human touch anymore. So this could lead to Okay, I'll tell you. You already guess what it leads to, but we realized that dehumanization of clients comes as a side effect of digitalization. Because the insurance companies it's a business where we deal with human pain, with suffering, and in the day when somebody has some loss and want to hear from you some human human relation, they face algorithms which don't hear the pain, and sometimes even it's worse to make an empathy theater, like the chatbot says, "I'm sorry to hear that." No, you don't sorry. I know that you're just a code. You don't sorry. You don't hear my problem. So sometimes people want just to have to be listened and to have a human in front of them, or at least the feeling for a human. And the claim is not so important. And the most important is that the service which they receive from the company. Okay. When we put technologies all over the processes in the claim life cycle, the risk which we take is to lose this customer satisfaction by letting the client not be heard, not be understood, or not be valued. This, of course, will increase the disappointment, and in order to retain the client, the only option you have is to drop the prices, which makes the dream of Winnie the Pooh impossible, Okay, what to do? To drop the technologies, to kick them out? No, I think that this is not the real world. In the real world, we have to use them. And in order to resolve this problem, we have to understand that the client doesn't need exactly the communication with the people. They just want to have the feeling that they are served as a human. So we know in Revoxy, and this is how we build our systems, that the technology should be transparent to the client. They don't have to think about the technology when they communicate with the insurance company. It should go transparently, just to help the people, not to be there in order to be someone important. Also, the AI can be trained to let the people perceive care. Of course, the AI doesn't feel any, they don't have feelings, but the system can be designed in such a way. And of course, I have heard many times in the years before, we want to eliminate the human factor, or we want to decrease the human factor. No, it's not necessary to eliminate the human factor. Just put it strategically in order to where the automation will end, to start the empathy. So, how this looks like in the real world? All of us, all the insurance companies have implemented over the years many systems. Beautiful, perfect systems, web portals, estimation system, web applications, CRMs, etc. All of them designed to perfectly resolve a particular problem. Some of them are really beautiful. But if those systems are not equipped in advance with the ability to talk to each other, they will behave like people in your front office speaking different languages, and the client should transfer information between each one of them, and they will never work as a team. So this is advice from me. When you select a provider, software vendor, who is giving you the perfect solution for a given problem, always ask them, is it capable to be integrated? Does it have web services, APIs to be integrated into the process? Because yes, you will implement it, but it will ruin your digital environment if they are not able to integrate. So at the end, if they are able to integrate, you will have to look at the whole process and to make the technologies operate like an orchestra, playing a beautiful symphony. It's not something new. It's an old concept that the system should be orchestrated. Yes, but I've seen many, many examples in the insurance companies of technologies which are beautiful by themselves. They have spent a lot of money, but they are not integrated into the environment, and they cause troubles to the client at the end. Yeah, the systems can be amazing, really. But when we design the system and when we design the process, we should always ask ourselves a question: how do we want the client to feel when they have the worst day in the year, maybe, because they come to you with a problem? Revoxy Smart Claims environment is such kind of system. Of course, we manage the whole process inside the insurance companies with all the departments, front office, back office, management, administration, etc. But we also integrate with all the existing systems in the company, document management, portals, core systems, etc., and build an environment around the insurance company where the external parties are also involved, like repair shops, spare parts suppliers, customers, fleets, brokers, etc. We built a full environment in order to let the people exchange the data and the systems exchange the data, not giving the obligation for people to transfer one document from the insurance company to the repair shop, for example. Yeah, we can transfer it in an electronic way, in a digital way. And when you go with your car there, everything is already there. Your documents, your pictures, your damage, your estimation, your option to negotiate, or your spare parts, etc. So this should be orchestrated. And our answer to this, shall we destroy the wall between the client and the insurance company built by technology? Our answer is no. You just make it transparent. Design the system in such a way that the wall of technology should become transparent. Revoxy Smart Claims platform is such a solution. And of course, if you orchestrate all those applications with system like Revoxy, you'll get back to customer satisfaction, prevailing the disappointment, and the client will be heard again, will be valued and understood. So this is the key of humanization. And at the end, near the end, I'm very fast, I see anyway. And at the end, I will put your attention on another aspect of the same problem, the communication between the insurance company and their software vendors. Many of you are insurance professionals and know very well that sometimes it's very, very, very hard to communicate with your software vendors. You face a wall with systems like ticketing system, change request systems, process design, etc. Systems where you cannot start to talk with your software vendors. Well, in Revoxy, we resolve this problem as a basic ground rule for our company. We, from the very beginning, we have this as a ground rule. We never lose connection with our clients. As a software vendor, we always talk. Of course, we have all the technologies here, but we always talk with our clients, try to understand them, and like the clients of the insurance company, we always keep them feel understood, listened, and valued. So this is a basic principle in our company, and I think that this is the way how a software vendor should behave. And after all, we are living in Revoxy, and our clients, we are living in an environment where we have the technologies, but all the technologies are helping the people, and they are transparent in order to be to lead to the satisfaction of both insurance companies and their clients. Okay, you know this game. I'll give you an example. We are very good in this game. We are vice world champions here in volleyball. One of the ground rules of the volleyball is never let the ball touch the ground, right? So if the ball is the problem of the client or client coming to you, never let it touch the ground, because then you'll get, you get points, but this means an unsatisfaction, disappointment from the client. And if your F&O department or technology or application or something takes the ball the ball coming to your field, then they have to be, the ball has to be taken from the workflow management and passed to the right people in the claim processing. So never let the ball touch the ground. This is my message to you. Thank you very much. We're a company with a lot of experience. You can see us outside in the area of sponsors there, and we can talk, of course, along the day. Thank you very much for attending my presentation.
Thank you very much, Emil. In fact, what you are saying has been confirmed in numerous surveys of consumers about financial institutions. It has been proven that financial institutions have built up digitalization in their interest, but not in the interest of the consumers. And that doesn't work. And it produces a lot of dissatisfaction of consumers with all kinds of reactions, as you have shown. So your message is absolutely spot on.
And the good news is that most of the speakers now are talking about this. So making the claim a competitive advantage by humanizing the technology, it is a topic already. It's not just an idea in our minds. Thank you.
Very good. Any questions from the audience? I think people are slowly getting hungry and they have another speech to listen.
I have one.
Still, there is
please.
one. Go ahead.
So my question would be, probably you speak to a lot of clients. Do you have this conversation when they say we don't want the whole solution, the smart claims platform, but part of it? And my thinking behind of this, how difficult is the introduction and keeping many legacy systems together, introducing that communicate with different type of software? Is it easier to have one system as yours instead of having many systems interacting?
Yeah, look, our system, of course, it has many other systems, is modular, of course. Some of the insurance companies are using the whole environment, but the others are using just parts of it. But it doesn't matter how many modules of the system they are using. We're always trying to be connected and to integrate to the systems around. Of course, it's not my responsibility or our responsibility to manage the insurance company, but it's a good example that the insurance companies, most of them are here now in Bulgaria, who are using our system, are very successful in managing the claims. And their reputation is very high. So we really help them. Of course, we cannot force them to use all of the things, but we integrate with the others. Sometimes we have tools for something, but there is another tool on the market which has already been implemented in the insurance company. Okay, we integrate this one and put it into the process.
More questions?
A very short one. When designing a claims app, how important do you think it's having a consultant and psychology, clients' psychology?
You mean the user interface, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the user experience when they use an application or portal or something. My opinion is that it's very important. Yeah, fairly speaking, we release on the market not so well-developed applications. I know that. It comes sometimes because of budget, sometimes because of the request from the client. They want it fast, they want it tomorrow, and we don't have time to do that. But yeah, this is important. And sometimes we manage to use it. Yeah, it is very important.
Maybe in the future. Yeah, because I think that people are under a lot of stress when using these apps, and sometimes we should acknowledge that when you are under such a high stress, maybe you have difficulty understanding what the app requires from you, even if it's something simple, but you are not in the...
This is exactly the point of my presentation. You never have to lose the humanity of the system. You have to understand how the client feels and how he might feel, because there are many different cases. And if you understand how the client might feel, you will understand that there is a point in your system where the ball can drop, and to be there, to have your right people there to take the ball, even if it's necessary to send a person there, qualified person, maybe psychologist, I don't know, but people are suffering in that moment, and you have to be there to help them, to take their hand and to say, okay, don't worry, I'm with you, we'll come through this.
Okay, thank you very much, Emil. So we are closer and closer from the happy moment of the meal, the lunch. For those of you who have opted or are interested to attend those 3 themed lunch tables, they are marked already in the restaurant. Please search for the theme that you are interested. So there are these 3 opportunities. If you still didn't choose one, maybe you can think starting from now until the lunchtime. Meanwhile, if we spoke a lot about calculating claims, fast, accurate, etc., let's see also about actually paying them, and what means having modern payment systems at hand for the benefit both of the insurer and of the customers. We will hear from Ionuț Encescu, Director of Business Development at Visa for Romania, Bulgaria, and Croatia and Slovenia, and he will present some interesting solutions for us.
So I just realized that I'm in a dangerous moment of the day. I am practically the only barrier between you and your lunch. So I will try to keep it as short as possible and keep your interest and focus on it. First of all, I would like to thank Revoxy and Exprim for the invitation to this conference. Thank you, Emil. Thank you, Daniela. So thank you also for the very interesting discussions that we had so far. So I will, as Daniela mentioned before, if until now the discussion was focused on claims, how to calculate claims, how to manage, interpret claims, I will go to the final part of the claim, the settlement, the payment part of the claim. And I will start with a personal experience of mine as an insurance customer. So I will try today to go through the presentation as a customer going through the use cases of having to get the money for the claim that he has. So I have health insurance. So what's my journey when I want to claim it? I go to the doctor, to the dentist, or to have my tests. I do the tests. I pay the tests from my own money. Then I just take a picture of the invoice of the respective fiscal receipt. I upload it to the mobile application. I go through a few fields, and what I have seen is that if the claim is, I think, around below €100, then I receive the approval and payment, sent to payment, like in below 30 seconds. If even during the weekend, or any hour, I will do the claim. If the amount is above €100, I receive the payment or the sent for payment in the next working day in a few hours. So in the first working day after the weekend, let's say. How I think we could, and the payment is done in like 3 to 5 days. I receive the money in my bank account. How I think we can improve this process? What are the ways to improve the process? And what I would like as a consumer of insurance products to have, ideally, would be, and this would be a wow factor for me, to practically receive the money once it's sent for payment, to receive the money instantly. So in that very second, when it's sent for payment, after the analysis, be it Saturday evening, be it Sunday morning, when I do the tests, receive the money instantly. So that is one use case. The second use case is that, let's say, I was fortunate enough not to have a more expensive doctor's appointment or health intervention. But if I had a health intervention of a few €1,000, that would have been an effort, a financial effort for my cash flow to pay from my own pocket €5,000 or €10,000 and then get reimbursed from the insurance company. So how can we manage this payment without using my own money for such an intervention? And this is only one use case related to health. Let's say even more that I am traveling abroad. So I have my insurance in one country, but I'm going on holiday. What happens then? So I will present today two ways of paying, of settling the claims. First is the one with the virtual cards, and the second one is Visa Direct for insurance. And I will go through them one by one. So what do customers expect? As I was mentioning earlier, me as a customer, I expect to have this process, to first of all, to rely on the process and to get the money, to have it fast, very simple, and not to have to use my own money, so not to impact my personal cash flow. What does the insurance company expect on the other side? The insurance company wants to have the process with as less workload as possible. Insurance company wants to reduce fraud, to have control over what they pay, to follow up on what they pay, to make sure that the money gets to the right person and for the right purpose, in accordance to the contract of insurance. And of course, the insurance company wants to have as little effect on their cash flow as possible. What is the use case here, or what is the customer experience here? A customer comes to you, he signs the insurance contract. So when he signs the insurance contract, you can issue a virtual card to the customer. The virtual card will be on the insurance company's account, will not have money under the respective card, will have maybe, if you decide so, a limit available, but will not use your cash flow. One use case is to deploy the virtual card when you sign the contract, or to deploy the virtual card when you approve a claim or when the customer has a claim to you. The deployment is done through a secure method. the customer is receiving a hyperlink or on the phone, or is receiving in your mobile application in some of your cases. Then the customer is enrolling that card into Google Pay, Apple Pay, and he just can go and make the payment, I don't know, at the auto repair shop, at the doctor, at the dentist, and so on, wherever he is. So what virtual card ensures that the destination of the contract, of the insurance contract, is respected, is complied with. At the same time, it ensures in real time that the conditions of the insurance contract are also complied with. So this API for issuance of virtual cards has more than 100 parameters. So this card can be customized in a lot of ways. And here on this slide are only a few ways that you can control, manage the virtual card deployment and usage. First of all, you can have that card to be used only at certain MCCs. This is how we call them. This is a merchant category code. All the merchants in the world that receive a POS, the bank or financial institution that gives the POS to that merchant is mandated to register the object of activity of that merchant. So if he's a doctor, he will have a certain MCC category code, which is a number. If he's an auto repair shop, he will have a different category code. If he sells auto spare parts, he will have a different category, and so on. So the second is amount. So the limit that you set is automatically set through the API. Also the time frame which that card is valid, and of course you can benefit on the data that you receive from the transactions that are done with that card. One of the benefits is that you would practically impact your cash flow as customers are going to the merchants and are paying. You are not impacting your cash flow at the moment of the claim with this. At the same time, you are controlling the destination, as I mentioned, and here what I discussed in the past 3 or 4 months with insurers, there are a lot of use cases where you are able, by using this payment method, to control fraud, to reduce fraud in your business, which I think it's a big deal in some use cases. So I'm not an expert in insurance. My background is in banking and payments. So I'm not here to be somehow patronizing and teaching the insurance area. And from the discussions that I had in the past few months, and even last evening and this morning, coming from banking, I understand the fact that insurance and banking are super regulated areas of activity. That is clear. I mean, a lot of regulation, probably the most regulated fields of activity, at least in the European Union. I don't know how it's somewhere else. So I know that you will have challenges, of course, in explaining to the regulation bodies, in adapting this kind of payment methods to the local legal framework. So this is food for thought. This is not one solution that fits all. This is something that you need to see how it can fit in the use cases that you have within your business. So by automating the process, by having simple, rapid solution and beneficial solution for the customer, this is a clear, I would say, proof. And I took my own example that the customer could have a wow. effect or a wow feeling when he's put in that very bad moment of having, either he's having an accident or he's having to go to a doctor, of having to making a claim. So from being able to pay with virtual cards, I go to the last part of the presentation. Oh. I have one more slide.
It's something going on with the last slides. Okay.
Perfect, super, thank you very much. So I was mentioning in the beginning that even with my current process of insurance claim, it would be ideal for me that, let's say I pay to the doctor, then I make the payment. AI is looking at because for the amounts below 100 euro, it's clearly that an AI is checking my claim because I received the answer Saturday evening in 30 seconds at most. So it's not a human for sure that is claiming, and probably the risk is good enough for the insurance company. So it would be ideal for me if I could receive practically the money instantly. So just making the claim and then refreshing and seeing instantly that I have a push notification from my bank and I just received the money on my card. What Visa Direct does is a network of real-time instant payments all around the world. Think of the use case that your customer doesn't have bank accounts in your country, so the payment doesn't go through the local clearing system. It's not instant. It may take a few days. With payments to cards, and sometimes in certain regions of the world to wallets, you have the payment practically instantly all over the world. So the customer experience is even better. Think of the fact that practically the customer can use the card that he registered to pay the premiums to you. Let's say he chose to pay monthly premiums because the Netflixing of subscription model is now more and more used. And he does a claim, he makes a claim, you are just asking him, you want to receive money back to the card that you are paying the claim? Yes. And in a few seconds, he sees the money on his card. So this is about customer experience, going from good customer experience that I've seen that you all have to fantastic, exceptional customer experience. And I think this is all about how we can exceed all the time our limits through innovation and improving this kind of customer experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Are there questions for Ionuț? Other than the one, when do we eat? Okay, then. If there are not questions, I'm sure that the possibilities are almost infinite when it comes to speed and precision in the world of online banking and card payments and so on and so forth. Now I think it's finally the happy moment, and we are kindly inviting you to have lunch with us. Don't forget to visit the theme tables. And Yasin, when are we coming back?
We're coming back in an hour, and the fastest way to the lunch is through that door. So see you in an hour.